All right, ladies. So here we are for our podcast. We're using the Dot Corner podcast that's under Jackson's YouTube live. One of the things that we did last week was we posed questions for him and his gentleman to answer. If you watch that video, then you will see the answers to our questions. Very interesting. If you have time, take your time to listen to it to get that male perspective on some of the questions that we posed. Well, now we're going to start with introductions. We're going to start first with Clarice, followed by Desiree. Then Miss Rhonda will join us, and then by Miss Whitney. So we can go in that order. Let's get started. We can't hear you, Clarice.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good. I am Clarice. I am here, present and accounted for. I am currently in Georgia, stationed here in Georgia, military. That's it. Single, mingling.
All right, we're gonna go next with Desiree.
I'm Desiree. I'm here in Fountain Inn, South Carolina, quarantining and chilling right now.
Nothing wrong with that. Miss Rhonda.
Yes. Hi, how are you? I'm Rhonda. I'm in Massachusetts. Trying to live my best life. That's it.
Oh, Miss Whitney, have you settled in Park yet?
I have not, but that's okay. I am Whitney. I'm here in Greenville, South Carolina as well.
All righty. So those are the introductions. So our topics for tonight. The first topic we had was some of the girls sent in, and then I sent to the group. The first is called "We Want Prenup." Okay. In the news now, you hear a lot of couples getting divorced. A lot of power couples, a lot of couples that have been together over 20 years plus, and they're now wanting a divorce. Well, divorces happen every day. That's not something that's uncommon, then likely. The issue is when they're high powered, you have a lot of resources and money involved. Okay. So first, we're going to go in the order of the money that is actually up for grabs in the prenup. The first article I sent to the group was an adorable little, which I thought was adorable. I actually shared it with my husband, and he was like, I don't know. He probably waited too late. It says 99-year-old Italian man divorces his 96-year-old wife after finding she had a secret love. Finding her secret love letters from the 1940s. Ladies, let's talk. He 99, she 96. He found letters from 60 years ago, and then he divorced her. What you think about it?
He's petty.
I thought so too. I was like, well, I mean, she didn't end up with whoever it was, so must not have been nothing.
So he finds out she has an affair 60 years ago, and I think he thought he probably didn't marry the woman he thought he married. You don't think it? I guess my question is it the age that happened, or do you think that it happened once he found out?
I'm trying to figure out why is it relevant now if it's 60 years old. It's not a present incident. That's just me personally. Is you digging up somebody's past? Who's to say he didn't have one? He just didn't get caught.
I would agree with that. I don't think that it matters at this late stage in the game. So I mean, like I said before, I feel like if she didn't end up with the person that she was writing those letters to, and she ended up with him and been with him all that time, and especially if there were no other incidents after then why does it matter?
Miss Clarice, Mr. Rhonda, do you have anything to say?
I didn't read the complete article, but I guess my question would be: were they married when she was sending these letters?
Yes.
I would divorce them, but I'm petty.
Okay. I'm gonna read the last part to answer your question, Clarice. The 96-year-old woman, identified in court paper as Rosa C., reported confessing having an affair 60 years ago, and then tried desperately to pursue her husband to stay. So she confessed. She said she did it and everything, and then she tried to beg him to stay.
Where is he going? But to a nursing home.
Can you stop? There's stop it.
I'm just saying, like, where are you going?
He gonna roll on through. Okay.
It's the principle of the situation. Principle. We probably going to our graves.
Don't bury me beside her. Don't bury her in the family plot.
I mean, I think
exactly. Move my life.
Have a certain amount of years left. Like he wants to be. If he wants to be alone, that's him. Because no one wants to die alone. So I feel like he is kind of being a little bit petty. People evolve and people grow over 60 years. She seems like she confessed and she admitted to it, and so
I agree.
He just want to be alone, I guess.
Well, he already 99, okay? And as we say, 99.5 won't do. We need 100% truth. And Ms. Rosa should have been truthful, okay? Like, I don't feel that he should have stumbled on it. Like they said, he stumbled on finding the letters a few days before Christmas. Here it is. He done spent his money, and he ready to see his honey. And find out his honey was with someone else. I think that, Ms. Rosa slipped up. I'm be honest. He just
60 years ago.
Yeah, but why you still got the letters now, Desiree?
I still got letters from when I was in school, and that's just because that's a memory.
Oh, so you're saying that she should have kept the letters from her affair or her husband all these years? That's right.
What I'm saying is, it's a memory. And sometimes you need to hold on to things so that you don't revisit mistakes. That's just me personally. I need to be able to look back at something and say, ooh, no, not again. And maybe that's what she needed, a reminder, like, okay, no, not again. But did he ever ask, did she ever do anything that would have led him to believe, like, I'm out in these streets cheating? Probably not. Just me thinking, I don't see why it's relevant now. And unfortunately, he's probably closer to the grave because he don't have her. Because love make people live a lot longer, in my personal opinion.
Ladies, chime in.
I think so. And I agree with the comment that was made about if he wants to be alone, then he has every right, especially at that age. It's just that you have to keep in mind, when you are that age, and you're starting over again, you probably are going to be by yourself, at least romantically. I mean, like, it's not likely that you start dating again at that age at all. And then depending on your financial position, if you did start dating again, it might look a little bit funny to people, especially if the person was considerably younger than you. It's like, what do they have to gain from this? Mm-hmm. So.
In the article, it doesn't go in details about who it was, and I don't think that would actually have made a difference, unless, say, if those letters and secret affairs were with his best friend, then it's probably something that he just deemed was unforgivable. We got to understand that he's 99 years old, and he came up in such a time where women wasn't thought of to do such things. You had to be pure, and you had to court. So he probably still have that mindset of when he was coming up, or he felt like, dang it, Rosa, if you was cheating, we should have cheated together. You should have let me in on it. It could be. I don't know. But unfortunately, they did grant them a divorce. They granted them the divorce on the grounds of her cheating. So they got their divorce granted.
Okay, so is Rosa a man that she cheated with still alive?
Probably
Maybe,
not. He probably died when the letters were written.
maybe she need to find.
I
I
thought
feel like
about that.
there
I was
should
like,
be a
he probably
statute of
been dead.
limitation on that one because that was 60 years ago, and she getting blamed for 60 years ago. This should definitely be a statute of limitation on that.
You know what
yeah.
though? One of the things that is funny, I did read another article. I should have sent that to you guys too, where it was like men saying women always lying, talking about you're the only one. That could have been Rosa lie. She just ain't kept that lie alive. Could have been. Not sure. But again, that I do feel like that was sad. I mean, we at the end of our lifespan, and and you looking back at letters instead of all that we accomplished with the years that we were together, and it was healthy and happy and wholesome, and we probably birthed a nation out of us. If we 99 and 96, I mean, we done birthed all that, and then you say, oh, let me just end it.
So here's my thing: is what else did she lie about? So if you hid this for 60 years, over the course of those 60 years, what else have you hid from me? Is Johnny even my child at this point? So that would make me question a whole. I'm just saying, it would make me question a lot. Like, all right, so you lied about this, you kept this for 60 years. Now I'm questioning the kids, the cat, the dog. Like, I just don't know at this point. Like,
so you're feeling like he's saying, if you lied about this, what else have you lied about?
yes, and kept the secret for that long.
Well, unfortunately, our article doesn't go in that detail. It just says that she confessed that she did have a affair, and she confessed it in court or whatever, and they granted that on those grounds.
And that's what women do. We tell the truth, and men don't a lot of the time. So we're not gonna know what he did.
Ooh, that's all right.
And that's just what it is. I mean, because he probably was not a saint, but because he's a man and now he's trying to dirty her up, probably trying to make her look like the criminal out of the family, she just told her truth and she's sticking by it because most of the time that's what women do.
I do agree with that. I think that a lot of times women will tell the truth or apologize also before men will. Or they'll apologize, but like in their own way that's not like actually like the words "I'm sorry." Like, yeah, it's something else. Like, well, back at that time I was this and that, and it's like, I think you're trying to tell me why you acted that way, but you didn't actually say you're sorry. So I think that women confess things and women apologize more often than men overall.
Yeah, that reminded me like Adam and Eve and how like Adam was like, it was the woman's fault. And she was like, yeah, I did it. Like,
she did go and get she did do it though. She did.
But she confessed to it.
Right. She didn't try to say no.
Look, she was rebellious. She wasn't a liar.
Okay. Right. We got to give her some credit for that.
So we have Nick Black, who's also on our Gentleman Podcast, that women have a monopoly on the truth now.
I don't think so. I don't think women have a monopoly on the truth. I think that I know for me personally, like it's too hard to like lie, especially like over a long period of time. So I would rather just be done with it and just tell the truth. And whatever may happen, may come. Well, it is what it is.
He didn't ask Rosa. If he would have asked, Rosa would have probably told him, but he didn't ask.
It says she was as wrong as he would have been if he cheated.
I don't disagree that she was wrong.
I'm not saying that she's not wrong. I'm just saying we wasting the government's time by getting divorced. That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna tell you my question that posed to me. 1, 9 times out of 10, if Rosa is the woman of the house, okay, Why was he granted access to your love notes? Why you got it in the house?
Well, that wasn't very smart of her.
Yeah,
You
because
get what I'm saying? Everybody knows
the
all
attic,
know
the
information
garage.
in her house. Nick, watch it.
I don't know.
Was-
Like I said, I don't think a lot of women just lie to be lying.
First of all,
Rosa was
I just have
old.
to
She
say,
forgot, y'all. She forgot. Rosa forgot. Rosa
Right.
forgot.
When
She could
96,
scapegoat it that way.
blessed Jesus, no, you don't live your life somebody else's life. Rosa was tired. That's why he got those letters.
I was gonna say too. Honestly, if somebody would approach me at that age with something like that, I'd be like, okay, and probably continue watching my show or whatever I was doing.
That. She could have played.
If she cares
I
at that point.
I don't recall. I don't remember. Who wrote
no,
the
it seems
letter?
like something else was going on. Because
Yeah.
first of all, why would he
Mhm.
take the intention, or why he take the time to actually take her to get divorced
Right.
and actually stop her from receiving money? There had to be something else. He was being petty, like Desiree said. And he had other intentions that he wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes you wonder if they had not had problems for a long time, because like
Yeah.
Crystal referred to, with that generation, a lot of them did not believe in getting divorced. Like I know my grandparents probably should have been divorced like almost as soon as they were married. However, they stayed married for almost 60 years and it was not happy, wasn't good, but it's just not something you did back then. And in that generation. And also, my grandma would say things like, well, this is my house. And it's like, you can get another house. But that was just not like things that they did.
No, that was her
So,
house. Mm-hmm.
yeah, she didn't think about another house, I mean, he picked out her cars for her the whole entire time. She never got to have a car that she wanted. I think the first thing she had me do, actually, and she didn't mean it maliciously, but the first thing she had me do, and after he passed, like a few days later, she decided she wanted a really big TV. Of all the random things, she was like, I never had like a really, really big TV in my room. So let's take me to Best Buy. I want a 65-inch TV. And I rode her up to Best Buy and we jammed that thing in the back of my car. But it was like, and she didn't mean it, mean toward him, but it was just like, kind of like I don't know. I mean, like it was like finally getting to live her life a little bit, even though she was like 70 years old. So that does make you wonder, like it was said before, and I agree with Nick on that. Like, just like I said, my grandma was like, well, she was concerned about losing her house. She didn't even pick out her own cars. Like, she didn't even work half the time they were married because he didn't want her to. But yeah, I think that, like was said before, that, those questions that could have arisen from finding those letters, maybe it made him question a whole lot of things, and he could have already been mad at her for who knows what. So he was like, you know what? Forget it. This is like the last straw.
So guys, we're gonna move to the next couple on We Won't Prenup. The next couple that is on our topic list is Tracy Morgan and wife Megan Woolver, probably messing up the baby last name, getting divorced after 5 years of marriage. Okay, Tracy Morgan is a great comedian. I follow a lot of his material. We all know that he got in an accident, which was life-threatening, and he had a settlement with Walmart because it was a Walmart truck which hit him. In that settlement, he was rewarded, I think, over $90 million. Him and his wife has been married for nearly 5 years. The statement that both him and his wife put out was, sadly, after nearly 5 years of marriage, Megan and I are filing for divorce. This is a challenging time for all involved, so I ask that you please respect our privacy. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you have him and his wife that are divorcing. You also have where the wife is asking for half of his settlement, and you have to think about it. They share a child together. What are your thoughts on this? Should she be able to be given half of his money.
The child should get some of the settlement, like maybe in a trust fund, but she shouldn't. She wasn't in the accident. She can get some of his other money that he made over the course of their relationship, but not an accident.
I agree with that perspective. I wonder if she's trying to, like, I know that we don't have this many details, but it makes me wonder, is she trying to claim that she took care of him in his recovery, and that's why she feels like what's her reason for feeling like she should get money, like she was saying, from an accident that she wasn't in?
So one is that it's unclear if Tracy and Megan had a prenuptial agreement. It says, but they have agreed to custody and child support. So that he has agreed. Okay. Mr. Nick says she deserved $40. Mr. Nick, that's not fair. Okay.
Oh my
there
God.
is a special.
Who is
Somebody said no. So there is a special that me and my husband watched that Tracy did after his recovery from the accident, and he praised his wife for helping him through the recovery, praised her for being that motivation to get him out of bed because at times he just fell into depression because that recovery, again, it was life threatening, and he had to go through a lot of corrective surgeries, and so he praised her so highly in that special and dedicated the special, I think, to her and his daughter, and he even said this statement in there. He was like, his wife was chasing their child that was in diapers, and they had to change his diaper too.
See, she deserves at least 40%.
So again, I asked, do you not think that she deserves?
She can get the money from that show. Give her that.
I don't know. Listen.
Oh, we lost Crystal.
If we're adding up stuff, then she done had his baby. How long was she in labor? I'm taking all that labor. And then how much did it take? What was the fee for service for taking care of him? All that stuff. So I'm adding all of it up. If I was her, I'm adding all of it up, like every hour, every dime, everything. Because I honestly, I'm wondering who initiated the divorce. First of all, was it him or was it her?
She did. She's 33 years old.
See,
what was her reason for the divorce? Also,
I don't know. I don't know enough about them to say, but I kind of feel like when you look at that age gap, a 33-year-old to a 50-year-old, there's some type of motivation there. And that's just my personal opinion.
It's kind of inevitable, yeah. It's like, how long can it be a perfect match, I guess, if you want to call it that? Now, I will say, from my understanding, when people do get a divorce, especially if there's not a prenup signed, I mean, like, all of the assets are looked at, which is why people try to hide money. So he really shouldn't be surprised if his accident settlement is counted into, what she might get a portion of. I mean, that's like pretty standard. Unfortunately, he probably should have been smarter since he came into the marriage with that much in assets. I mean, like, come on. Like, this isn't, like his first day being famous. So, just saying.
Crystal, do you know why they're divorcing?
Well, according to the it doesn't say. It just says that they're just filing for a divorce. It doesn't say anything else.
And it could be. I mean, if it's amicable, I mean, maybe he doesn't care. I mean,
it's been a challenging time for everyone involved. I don't want to do a cop out and say COVID, but that could be the reason. One of the things that I talked to, one of I call him Cuzzo. His name is Sam. Dr. Sam. We talked today, and he was saying COVID has caused a lot of these breakups because now you have to face who you with. Before, they on the road, they touring, and he was like, now you have to face the person you said I do to. And sometimes it's not what you expected because you're so used to working different shifts or the person not being in your space as often, and now the person is in your face. You see things that you was like, hey, I'm not used to seeing that. I'm not used to dealing with that.
I just looked up his net worth. The accident is more than what his net worth is. So maybe that's why.
Yes. So we did have a come up with that accident with that money. Because they talked about it. Not trying to throw Walmart under the bus, but Walmart has been in a couple of accidents because when you are have that trucking business and you know those things can be very disruptive if they're in an accident. But you know his settlement was talked about because one, he's a comedian, but because that was one of the largest payments that Walmart had to pay in the settlement.
So did you all see the question that we had to pop up?
What if
it
for the money?
Yeah, and I'm like, well, that's why when you're rich, that's something you consider prior to. I mean, because what if it does? Well, too late now. Too bad, so sad. I mean, that's like
have a prenup.
Right. So I'm like, so the question was, what if it comes out that she was just in it for the money? Congratulations to her. I don't know. Like, I'm not an answer. You made it. Like, you win. I mean, yeah.
Miss Clarice, you've been quiet lately. Can you speak on this topic? You've been quiet.
I was actually reading about their relationship to kind of get like insight on it. That's what I was Google searching. And some of the things that I found out was that they met back in 2011 and they got married in 2015. And I think his accident was like 2014. So I was just kind of looking at the timeline and trying to decide whether or not that, the accident was in 2014. So she married him after the accident, but I'm assuming it was before the settlement. So trying to decide whether she has put in enough work to deserve half. And I don't know whether she deserved half, but she deserved some of that money. She absolutely did. He knew what he was getting into when he married her. If she was a gold digger, he should have known that before that, like, because they had known each other for years.
Thank you, Nick Black. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, he agreed with you. Nick agreed with Whitney. He said she knew about his status prior to the incident and everything. And I agree with you with your research, Clarice. She knew him prior to the accident. They was together, they was engaged, and then they didn't get married to 14 months after?
Mm-hmm.
After the accident, after his physical therapy, occupational therapy to get back in there. Because truth be told, he spoke about it and it was horrific. Like, it wasn't no 3 months and he back. It took a while for him to get back to the basics of walking and taking care of himself.
Yeah. So
are we saying she should get half, or we saying you ain't put in no time? You did about four-ish.
Any amount of my time is worth $90 million. So
you know what, Clarice, that man
my time is valuable. She can't get them 5 years back when she was changing his diapers. She can't get that back.
Let's just be honest. If it would have went the other way, right? Say if it, God,
he would have left.
Listen, if it would have went the other way, okay, and he was killed in the accident, the law says she don't get nothing, only his kids.
Well, that's true, but that didn't happen. So I agree. I agree with the 40-60. I don't see nothing wrong with her getting 40%. Why not?
You preserve no point. Let me tell you something.
So
if I got 90 and you sitting here trying to, and everything all right or whatever, I got to count my stuff and make sure what I give you don't affect me. Because see, I was already rich. Okay? All right.
Like I said, prenup.
I'm your wife.
For 5 years?
It doesn't matter how long I'm your wife. I'm your wife. So
yeah, you right. So you gonna get this million and go sit down.
No, I'm gonna get that 40 million and we're gonna call it even.
You're not gonna get my 40 million. You wasn't shooting at the gym.
But I think that we didn't take in consideration that she got married to him after. So she had a choice to leave. She stayed with him. She stood by him. She took care of him. She took care of his dirty Pampers and everything like that. She didn't have to do that. But it seemed like she actually did love him. And I think that, time heals all wounds. But also think about it. He got, when he got after and he got healed, he was out in the streets. He was out there. We don't know what he was doing when he was out there. We don't know whether he was cheating on her, whether the relationship was good or bad. And so I think that we have to take in consideration of that because she could have left, but she didn't. She stayed by his side and she helped him. And then he even credits her for that. That
a lot of people would have left
way more
because that's a lot of work.
But that's a lot of money. If I knew Walmart hit me, I'm gonna stay. I'm sorry. Anybody that I date, a Walmart, McDonald's, Amazon, FedEx, UPS, they not involved. I'm gonna stay.
Ladies, let's put some stats on this. Tracy was married before. His first wife, he was married from 1987 to 2009. And then now he married hers from 2015, and now they're seeking divorce in 2020. Okay. Stats have said that the probability of divorce is higher in the second marriage than the first. The first is like 40-45. The second one is 60 to 70%. She ain't getting half. Okay. That's my opinion. She don't deserve half.
But with that stat, that he knew that what he was getting into, he knew that it was his second divorce. Did he have?
Yeah, definitely. That makes me feel less sorry for him.
Of that.
She knew this was his second marriage. She knew that he had I agree, Nick. But she,
not the first wife. That's wrong place, wrong time for her. I'm sorry.
She was not with him during the accident, so he wasn't at the 90. He wasn't at the 90 million marker. And again, in the article, it says that they have agreed on custody and child support, and I think that would help out too. So I think because he's taking care of his responsibilities, which is his child, which is his fourth child, because Tracy has 4 kids. Yeah, fourth child, because Tracy has 4 kids and all. And he's taking care of child support and his other responsibilities. I think that he should slide you a cool meal, or it should be a cool, I'm going to just say a cool 5 that give you enough status to find you another. Oh, okay.
Okay, first of all, you have to pay for the lifestyle that I have become accustomed to, number one. Number two, he didn't get that settlement until after they got married, so he should have gotten a prenup. He knew that money was coming, and he knew that money was going to be long. So I don't know why it's even an issue. So he already knew these things.
You have to think about that, Clarice. You have to think about that. Sometimes.
But he didn't.
When you on heavy narcotics, you could confuse that for love. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. I can totally understand, but he was already healed and already better, not completely, but better than what he was when they got married. So I'm just saying, just slide that paperwork on in front of her and be like, go ahead, sign on the line. This is what you're going to get. For every year, I'm going to give you $1 million or something like that. Like
5 million.
But he didn't get it in writing, so give me my half.
$5 million, and I'm going to make sure my child receive child support, you gonna get that because that baby ain't gonna eat that child support. Let's be honest. Okay. He
But
gonna
see,
pay that child
that's
support. That means he gonna take care of his child. Okay. He did what he was supposed to do.
what Clarice said is typically, from what I understand, correct though. If the court asks, what lifestyle someone has been accustomed to and how much income they've been accustomed to earning, but they have not actually been working, they take that into consideration to figure out how much you get in terms of alimony. So if you haven't been working and you say, well, I don't have any other means of income, that's going to set you up. I mean, like I said, first wife, wrong place, wrong time. Too bad, so sad. However, second one, she lucked up. She came up and lucked up. And Naheem says she can adapt to a past lifestyle. You can, but who wants to do that?
She should have been putting up some coins because
that's what I would have been doing. And then that little $5 million comment, I can make $5 million scratch. So
that's that $5 million in you. Only thing you gotta do is invest that $5 million in you, get that stomach on flat, that butt on baby, and you all right.
Yeah, she can get it declared.
Why do I have to put money aside when I ain't got no prenup? Why do I gotta do that? Because I'm already gonna get half because you ain't signed no prenup.
Because you always want to have your own. Okay? You always want to have your own, though.
Thank you, Whitney.
Don't ever.
I agree with
Why are you seeking a man for validation? That lady should have had her own business by herself. So
I am just telling you all. I'm just telling you all how she is thinking. Not to say that I wouldn't put money aside because I would have been in stash $40 million and he wouldn't even have known about
it.
I'm just telling you. Girl.
Honestly, who knows?
I'm good with money.
Done that and wants this too. She might have done what you just said, Clarice, and she wants this money too. So now it's gonna be from 40 to 90. Maybe she just wants.
Now he ain't got no money.
Okay, ladies. We're gonna go to the last couple with the rewant prenup, and then Desiree, I'm gonna let you present the topic that you pulled. So the last one, because we went by the number, the numerical number, is Dr. Dre and his wife. Dr. Dre and his wife have been married for 24 years, and she filed for divorce. As you all know, Beats by Dre and Dr. Dre empire is worth $800 million. His wife, before marriage, was a attorney, a practicing lawyer, and they have 2 kids, but both kids, Truth and Truly, are grown. They're of age and in college, and some of them are out of college. So there's no child support here. Okay? The issue with this is you have Dr. Dre, you have his value, you have his wife who was a lawyer. This was her second marriage. She was formerly married to NBA player Sadell Threat prior to marrying Dr. Dre. Now things are coming to an end. She has also presented paperwork saying that when they was going to get divorced a couple of years prior to this one, they reconciled, and he said he tore her up the prenup in front of her. Okay, she wants the judge to take that in consideration because she did sign a prenup. This is before Beats by Dre and prior to his income being $800 million. Okay, this is when Suge Knight had went to jail and then Snoop was on the case for murder because that was the case they gave him. So that was before. This was when he had the money. Okay. So, what do you think about this? What do you think about the information of her saying he physically told the prenup up in front of her? However, Dre said he tore up a copy of the prenup in front of her to keep her safe. That wasn't the real one. The real one's in the safe. Okay. So, you guys tell me your thoughts and opinions on that.
My opinion don't change half. But then again, what's the prenup?
Okay. So let me pull this article.
While you're pulling that up, I agree. I mean, if there is a court validated document, there's not really much that anybody can do about that, because anybody can tear up a piece of paper. That doesn't mean it's not saved to a hard drive somewhere and already filed away. But before you brought up the fact that there was a prenup, I was thinking the whole entire time that Dr. Dre is screwed, because they've been married for 24 years. And I don't know what kind of attorney his wife is, but it doesn't matter. If she was, an estate planning attorney or a criminal attorney, attorneys know other attorneys. So she'll be all right. He once again, he should have been smarter than that. And I wouldn't even, I agree. She shouldn't. Well, she doesn't have to know the proper protocol. It sounds like. So, I mean, if there's a prenup, then there's a prenup. But if there's not, he's in trouble. I'm like, how do you think that people create prenups or any document? It's on a computer. So I'm confused as to why him ripping up that piece of paper, she would have fell for that. I'd have been like, okay. I mean, if he burned his hard drive, that might have been different. That would have made me feel more secure if I saw him put it on the grill.
Somebody still was going to have a copy.
Right. A piece of paper, please. If you rip up your marriage license, it doesn't mean you're not still married. So I'd imagine it's the same thing.
I don't see anywhere where they actually have any details about it.
Yeah, I've been looking up.
Honestly, I feel like once Beats by Dre took off and Dr. Dre's net worth reached 800 million, if he felt kind of shaky with regard to his marriage, he should have done something about it at that point. Like if it wasn't already something in place, he might have been like, you know what? Circumstances have changed.
For her to fall. Okay. Okay, ladies. On this deal, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. If we was gonna divorce, guys, prior, now we back at the same stage, and we're thinking, and we're thinking, okay, we just can't do it because it's irreconcilable differences that they're divorcing. Okay, that's the term that they're using. Basically, me, I don't like you, you don't like me. Let's go. If she signed a prenup back then and things change, she signed that prenup. So as much as I would want her to get her money, she signed that prenup, man.
Well, I will say to your point, Crystal, usually I don't think that a lot of those documents are super specific. Obviously, there's no way of predicting the future. So hopefully what she signed just says that, if something happens, you're only entitled to 10, 15, 20% of my net worth. It doesn't say my net worth up to this cap, I hope, for her sake. It doesn't say my net worth in case I don't get any more famous. I mean,
I agree, but if you think about those high profile cases, there's a reason I'm talking today, and there's a reason why in the court of law, wives can't testify against husbands and husbands can't testify against wives. Okay. I think if he don't agree to her terms, she's going to be bringing up some information that he just don't want out there. 24 years with a person, you done seen the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, and the crazy. And it's just certain things you got to pay me hush money.
She gonna get all of her money.
That could be a separate amount of money that he wants to pay her than what's settled on in court.
You gonna have to pay me hush money. You know them dead bodies in that backyard. You gonna have to pay me hush money.
Yeah, she's gonna get all of the money that she deserves and more. Because you're right, that's a lot of years.
You know too much on a person. 24
Mm-hmm.
years. You know everything about that person in 24 years. Bro. You know their social security by heart. You know everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she deserved it. Excuse me. As y'all know, it has came out that Dr. Dre beats by Dre. You know he be beating people. So he does not have a clear pass, guys. It's very shady. It's a lot of criminal activity. It's a lot of domestic violence. So you know, it's a lot that's under there that I feel that will be revealed if he does not meet her terms. And I think that she stands on a great place to negotiate. And that's what the article said. It said both him and her are very savvy, very business driven, but at the same time, they may be savvy and business driven. But you got to think about it. Hers come from a formal education. His come from a street education.
Mm-hmm.
May the best person win.
Yeah, that honestly, that's the first thing I thought about when, we began talking about them is that, he has put his hands on women that are not his wife too and weren't dating him at all. Like just got mad and like just hit a woman that, he didn't even know that well. So that doesn't really look good for him. You never know how people can turn things around on somebody, especially when they're like out to get something, unfortunately.
Mr. Rhonda, do you have anything?
Who are you speaking to?
You.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
No, I agree with everything. I mean, given his history and everything like that, I think she deserves all that she's going to get. I mean, she's been, like you said, she's been married to him for well over 20 years. There was some stuff that, in his closet that she probably knew about. And so, again, I think that, she deserves everything that she's going to get.
And I don't think it has anything to do with how old their children are either. At this point, like you said, Crystal, they're older. They're older than like minor age. They're not entitled. She's not entitled to child support for them. So this is just her money.
Yeah. And you got to also think about it. Dr. Dre is, I think he's 55 and she's 50.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He would be better off just cutting his losses and making this as easy as possible, probably.
So Desiree, you sent a topic, and I want you to discuss that. Set the stage for that discussion on there.
Okay, so there's a new season of Marriage Boot Camp out, and this is like the hip hop edition. I'm not sure if everybody's familiar with the video vixen Tahiri that used to date the rapper. Dang, it slipped my mind. I can't remember what her ex Joe.
Joe Biden. Joe Budden.
But yeah. I think
Biden is the president.
Yeah. So she's on this show, however, with this new guy named Bottle. I don't really know what Bottle does. I don't know if Bottle's a rapper, who he is. However, there was an incident on the show where they put like these shot collars on their wrists, and whenever your spouse did something that you didn't like, you were supposed to shock them or whatever, but you didn't know what the person's list was. You just knew you were getting shocked. She thought he was being petty and just tasing her, and which he wasn't. So her reaction to this was she hit him in the face with like 2 apples, extremely hard and at close range. And he didn't react at that point. And then at the next scene, I guess when the therapist is talking to them about the day and what happened, as she's talking, she's saying like, oh, he just wants me to be this person that I used to be. He want me to act crazy. And it's like he snapped. He blacks out and he stands up and he chokes her. And he's like, you want me to hurt you. And everybody reacts because, of course, this is a man hopping on a woman. And he's being addressed for putting his hands on her. But nobody has said anything about her first hitting him. So my question was, should women be held accountable when they're the aggressor? Because as of right now, he had to leave the house. The focus is on him and what he did, but nobody has said, like, Tahir, you were wrong for putting your hands on him, technically.
I think she should be addressed. I don't think anybody should be putting their hands on anybody. I think you have to, it's hard sometimes. Some people will, they will try you, but you know, as an individual, you have to not let people take you out of your character, to do something like that.
Crystal, Clarice, Rhonda, what are y'all thoughts?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that it should have been addressed when she started throwing apples at this guy. And I think that both of them don't know how to act. And what you do with unruly house guests is you kick everybody out. They got to go. Mm-hmm. You around here throwing out fruit and stuff. I think they just both should have been thrown away because they ain't got no class and don't know how to act. If it was a part of a project and they was doing the bracelets or whatever, learn to listen to the rules and get along. You're there to do activities and to be recorded. So you got to know the shot call is part of an activity. That it just goes to show that it was already pre-existing things there, and they were trying to hold on to something that should have just been thrown away. Because that I just don't understand it. At the end of the day, I think that words should not hurt. And when I say that, I don't think that he should have put his hands on her for what she said, and I don't think that she should have misinterpreted the activity and then threw something at him in his face. Because once you start, then when the other person finishes, they wrong when you started. That's just my take.
I don't know. I think it's all fake. The reason why I think it's fake, because the standard protocol and procedure when you're doing therapy, you do not do therapy with those who have any suspicion of domestic violence. You immediately separate and you immediately recommend individual therapy. You don't conduct therapy with that. And so it's like, I don't know about if it was just for the show or if it was not, because it doesn't seem like, I don't know, that was the first thing I pointed out, because you said the therapist just continued.
No, he didn't know about the Apple incident. He wasn't present for that. And I don't think nobody mentioned it because it was a woman who did it. Had it been the opposite, I think he would have addressed it, because there's been like another incident where like the men have gotten into something physical and he's immediately come in and, like you said, separate and all this stuff. But in this instance, it was only her, the gentleman, and like another couple maybe, but nobody ever mentioned that I could see, like, well, you do know Tahiri did this. Even when they were looking back at the film of when he attacked her, they never ran the film back all the way to when they were in the kitchen and she initially hit him. That's what made me think like, oh man, like we're kind of we're victimizing her, like we're putting her on the pedestal of like, you're the victim, like domestic violence is not okay, and all of the stuff they were saying were in reference to women, and they're actually men that are victims too. And that was an opportunity for that show to address that, but they've said nothing about it. And unfortunately, she might choose. And then she even mentioned getting punched in a nose by a man, and that's why her nose is crooked. So that tells me she's probably putting her hands on people consistently.
And I saw the question pop up. So it was Vato that she hit. It was Vato that she hit, right?
Yeah.
Not Joe. Okay, Joe Budden's her former boyfriend.
Her former, yeah, that's her former
Okay.
boyfriend. And she's
Okay.
saying that she never, like, her and the bottle guy have been friends for years since they were kids. So there's never been any type of domestic violence type thing. That's not of his character, is what she said as well. They just decided to give a relationship a try at this point.
See, that was plain. I'm with Rhonda. They were staging it.
Reality TV is, I mean, it's difficult to say.
Yeah, but even if they were staging it, that wasn't a good staging, because you're giving the idea that, well, you can hit somebody and because you're a woman, it's okay. And we're only going to address the man if he attacks you, but we're not going to have a conversation about just don't put your hands on people.
I just know that you just keep. I just think that you should be able to talk through anything. I don't think that it should get. I don't know. You just can't poke a bear. Like, you done threw that man 2 apples to the face. I mean, what else he supposed to do? You got this man on national TV. You embarrassing him. You know, his boys probably in his DMs talking about you took it to the face pretty good. You know. And so the male ego is very fragile, and I think with that, we're on national TV and you trying to pump me out, and it's like, you know, he probably did flip out. He probably just flipped out, and he probably saw red, and you know, sometimes that little demon talk to you and say choke this hoe, and he just probably just lost it.
Mm-hmm.
He probably was like, you know what, if I'm gonna go on this. And
I agree with Nick.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
It's very, even honestly, even if it wasn't staged, even the Bible, you know, which tells us to respect our parents and our elders, also says that they're not supposed to provoke their children. So really, nobody should be bothering nobody. Like you said, Crystal, I don't know why people can't just like talk to each other, apologize when they need to. You know. There shouldn't be anything that people can't have a conversation about, even if it's tough to do that.
And I don't think that she should be up there playing the victim either. I don't think that she should be up there now trying to highlight the positive of his character. Oh, he's not like that. But you was part of it too. So if he had to be asked to leave, we're a couple. We came together. Y'all know, girls, we leave together. I'm out the door.
Yeah.
To the taxi. Come on, pack your stuff. Because it's a couple's. Okay, you by yourself now. So come on. We all need to go. That's just it. If he out, you out.
And I know we're talking about, you know, a male-female couple, but even if this was, you know, one female that hit another female in the face with some apples, that other female is going to jump back on her too. Yeah, I mean, you don't do that to people.
So, ladies, talking about a house, the next topic is there's some hoes in this house. Okay, so the WAP video came out. Cardi B featuring Megan Thee Stallion. They had a couple of cameos from other people in there. So I want to get your opinion about that video. And I also want to highlight Megan Thee Stallion as an artist. The victim situation between what happened with Tory Lanez and her friend in the black SUV. And we also want to talk about her statement that she made that says black women are not protected. So first, let's start with the video. Then we will break down our dissect Megan Thee Stallion as an artist, as the victim in that DV, because we were just talking about reference to DV, and then her statement about how black women are not protected. Who want to start?
I love the video, love the song. I can get with it. Took me back old school, because when we were growing up, there was some really like ronky, like off the wall songs and dances, and I'm all for it. Anybody who's not all for it, then that's you, but I bumped it on the way to work on Friday. I got to work and was crunk all day Friday, so I'm with it.
I think we lost the Rhonda. Hopefully she can pop back in.
I watched the video. I don't know if I gave it enough attention. Because I'm a lyrical person when I listen to music, and also like the beat. And I guess I didn't hear nothing that made me want to dance. At least not the type of dancing that I think when I hear a song title like that. I didn't get up. I was just like watching the TV, like, okay. It was
I
okay.
usually watch stuff like that too.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it another try. Maybe
Right.
I was a little sleepy or something when I was watching it, but it didn't do nothing for me.
I do like the beat on the song. I'm a big beats person. But like you said, lyrical too. If you know the writing is whack, I'm like I just can't even, like, I'm changing the channel, like I'm flipping. I haven't seen the whole entire video. I think, like you said, I wasn't really paying like great attention when I watched it. Some of the social media posts that I've been seeing about the hairstyles have been making me laugh so hard though, because I was like, yeah, they got some updos, and I just remember after
That's
people
prom
quit wearing updos, right? I
Prom
was like,
season, we going to the prom. Everybody had that swoop across their face.
Yeah.
and the banana peels and the swoop bangs, but but after people stop wearing updos, you might see, you know, one or two here and there, and you'd be like, God, they country, they still wearing
No,
the
we
updos.
couldn't do the updos no more because all of us went natural.
Right. So
that jail wasn't gonna hold all that up right quick.
That stuck with me though. I will say, I will find the most random things to like latch on and be like, updo, why? What is that? Like, that's how I felt. So maybe I need to like watch it again, like you said, and not focus so much on the hairstyles. That's my bad. I did see something really funny that discussed a congressman, I believe he's a Republican from either Texas or California, who said he stumbled upon this video this weekend. And right, I was like, so you stumbled upon it, watched the whole thing, okay? But
4 minutes.
You watched that butt.
Right. I was like,
yeah,
he watched it. He couldn't take his eyes off. But he was disturbed, you know, if these are the role models that girls this generation have to look up to. And I just it made me laugh, like that he said that he watched the whole entire video. I was like, he probably watched it twice, please.
And that's in between the lotion that he had to grab, okay?
Right, probably so. I was like,
I'm gonna be honest with you ladies. I was underwhelmed by the video. It had all this hype. It was always gonna be released at this time. It was late as usual, CP time. Welcome back to Roundup. But I was very underwhelmed by the video. It didn't give me the pop that we are used to, Clarice. The one that we are used to was, there's some holes in this house. They didn't give me that. It was a slow version. It was like the special ed version, like there's some holes in this.
I mean, they did, yeah. They added.
Give me a pop. Give me a pop. Let's go. Okay.
Okay, so I heard the song before I saw the video.
I did too.
The video was subpar. It was absolutely subpar. But on Twitter, somebody remade the video, so it cut out some of the stuff, and I liked it after they remade it. Like, okay, I can get with it. I actually enjoyed the song.
And if I can finish, I'm gonna tell you what I didn't like. I'm with Desiree and I'm with Whitney. It has to be aesthetically pleasing to my ears. When the beat is here and you over there, what are we doing? What are we doing?
We not riding the beat. We not riding the beat.
I feel, and it's no shade to Cardi B. I think that she couldn't catch the beat if the beat was in her.
But I think,
but I also feel like you invited an artist like Megan Thee Stallion as a feature, and she bodied your song.
I was gonna say, I think a lot of people think that it's Megan Thee Stallion's song. I don't think,
but it's not. It's
I don't.
featuring Megan,
but I don't think
and
she
bodied it.
I'm Team Cardi though, because Megan don't do it for me, and I think it's that slow cadence, and I think that's what Cardi was trying to keep up with is Megan's style. Lyrically, for
No.
me, if I put on Cardi's last album and Megan's last album, I'm gonna go off a little bit more to Cardi. I'm gonna go off.
I think too, though,
That's
that
right.
what you
I
just
disagree.
said.
That's right. I disagree, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you, Cardi talked like a second grader. Listen,
She does. It's
her
bad.
Ow.
the timing in the song,
And you see that
the
message we
timing
just
in
got.
the song, you have to be on time. Anybody who's musical know that you have to be on time. And that's,
You do.
and
You
that's
gotta
the
ride the
thing
beat.
that threw me off. Like she was like, I think lyrics was like, put your Big Mac truck in this tiny cup. I'm telling you, I was very underwhelmed. And I think that if you did not create that video for that song, it would have flopped. I think if you did not come out there half naked and I saw the birth canal of culture, it would have flopped. I think that it gets to the point where it's nothing to the imagination because I've seen all of it.
I mean, we seen all the little Kims too.
There's an audience for that, though. There's a market for it.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
a market for it, but it gets to the
There
point
is.
where if you're going to call yourself a rapper, rap.
Well,
But
Crystal,
you
that
gotta
would
get
be
with
too
the
much
culture.
work. That would be too much work, Crystal.
because right now the city girls are winning. The hot girl summers, that's where the mindset for the generation is at right now. So she had to put out what's relevant. But again, I haven't been Team Megan. I just haven't gotten into her. So maybe that's why I don't really like the song either. But all the stuff that people have hyped up in regards to just what Megan has produced, it don't do nothing for me. That ain't my stilo. I can't get with it.
I think Megan have worked, like I was telling, speaking earlier. I think that Megan has got in there and she's trying to be this everybody friend girl. And so you have been on works of art with what I'm saying, the elite artists, and you're establishing and making a name for yourself. That's fine, and it's nothing wrong with working with the artists and stuff, but just make it cohesive. You can tell it wasn't cohesive. It wasn't.
I think too, to what Desiree said, you can hear a difference in the speech, and maybe it's because Megan is from Texas, so she probably, like, whether we can hear or not, because I probably can't, because I know I probably talk like a turtle, but Megan is from Texas, so she is gonna automatically probably talk a lot slower, and maybe that influences her beats. I'll be honest with you, that some of the Sirius XM radio stations I listen to, there's a DJ on, I believe it's either the hip hop or the Shade 45 station I listen to. I can't stand her voice because she talks like this and I'm just like, can you not? Can you bring it? It's too much, especially early in the morning. It's too much. Why are we? Why are you already on 10? That's how it feels for me. But maybe that's because I'm not from up north. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't feel like it's on 10.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think it's where you from. I am a student of the art. I am oh Lord, we done lost the round again, babe. I am a student of the art. I am one of those down south connoisseur of rap.
Right.
I am we in the club back in the day. Clarice, you know what I'm talking about. We sweating out that you better stop it. You better
Girl, don't do that.
Stop it.
You started the
You get what
topic,
I'm saying?
Clarice.
We
don't do that,
girl. We came up with the Lil Waynes and the 400 degree, and it was hot. You know what I'm saying?
But it was consistent as well.
And they were, and that's the thing. And then my thing is, I listen to other artists, and the thing is, you see the ones that the industry try to push for.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's like you trying to push them, but that's not their lane. And so they crumble because I don't think that's their.
It's like they haven't found their niche.
Too much hype.
Yeah.
Give them too much hype.
I will say, I think that some people don't, it's like they don't find their niche. And like you said, their producers or their record labels try to make them something that they're not and push them upon the people. And then we don't necessarily receive them the way that they wanted us to. It's like, like it's interesting because it's like you would think that their record label could hear that they were whack without us having to tell them they were whack. You know what I mean? Like,
but they know physically they're appealing, so it doesn't matter what the song.
Yeah,
that part.
Does.
I feel like in 2020 you don't have to have like a ton of talent anymore. You can just have like a gimmick and like a lot of plastic surgery and like be willing to like take your clothes off. So I mean, you'll make money. There's a market for it. Like I said, I'm not knocking anybody's hustle. There is a market for it. It's just not for me.
And like I told you guys before, it said
I'm
these are reading lyrics. They were giving
I agree.
I'm thinking
you know
about
what? They work for a time and place with the lyrics. That's fine. But again, you have to also be appealing, and it has to flow. It has to flow. You can tell when you can tell if I sing something and I pass it to Whitney and Whitney come and be added later and then Desiree added. You can tell when it's not like we all in the studio getting this done. You can tell when I'm sending it to your sound man and you sending it to her sound man, and it's not just working together. You know, like I said, they're artists, and I support our Black women. I support what they're doing. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, don't be giving us anything to chew on out here. We got COVID and we got time. Give us your best. Okay?
Crystal,
you got to put out the body work because your first album did great. But then, sis, you came back with the second and press. Ain't nobody want to hear that press, okay? So, somebody said they like turtles. Thank you, Nick, for liking turtles. I'm happy. You know what?
You know, yeah, I'm about to finish. Crystal, you just reminded me.
Huh? Whitney, you going in and out, baby.
She muted.
I'm sorry, y'all.
You muted.
Okay, Crystal, you just reminded me of some times when we've been singing together, and like you said, if the flow is not there, everybody can tell, and you and me be on the same wave. But sometimes it somebody else don't be on that wave, and you be looking like don't.
And I mean, the least, and you know, nothing towards your artist, Desiree, but at least Cardi can be on beat. I mean, she ain't wrote it. Least she can do is be on beat.
I'm not saying that Cardi is my artist, but when I want to do, when I know, but what I'm saying is when I want to do hood rat things with my friends,
I can do that.
I have a preference, but I don't listen to rap very often. I only listen because that came out. Now, when my birthday come, I may be more ratchet things with my friends type music. It depends on the occasion. I don't, I can't open my ear gates to this type of music all the time because what you listen to tends to become your lifestyle, and that's only for a weekend, once a year.
Yeah, I'm too old for that all the time at this point.
Because I'm reading these lyrics.
I agree.
They're not saying. I'm gonna be honest with the lyrics and stuff. They ain't saying nothing that Lil Kim ain't said, Foxy Brown ain't said, Betty White ain't said. I mean, let's just be honest.
I mean, it just don't.
I don't. Same thing. They just put on a little slow jam with it, and you.
That was on the beat.
They just need a different. They just need a different beat or something. Because the lyrics, like you said, I heard this before. I mean, it's all right, but I don't see nothing that I would be like out in the club or something, and I would be, reciting it. I don't get that from here. Like when City
or like
Girls
running to the
on,
floor.
Yeah, like when City Girls come on.
Right.
I know all the first half of it. That got me. That got me going. I don't have one of those lines in here yet.
I agree.
I need at least one line so I can act like I know the whole song. Haven't found it yet.
So a lot of people, guys, got mad at the cameo of Kylie Jenner being in there. You guys, Kylie just walked and peeked in the door. I ain't see nothing wrong with it. Anybody could have did it, but
I didn't even notice her.
I mean, it was a video that can happen.
Exactly. I was like, who? When you said that just now, I was confused.
Didn't even notice her.
I mean, to be honest, I mean, it was nothing that stand out about her. I mean, she could have had anybody walk down there and peeped in the door. I mean, hell, she would have called me. I would have went, "Hi, what you doing in here?" It was
Right.
I wish Little Kim was in the video though. Not to say anything, but just to be present.
I did too. I think they should have had Little Kim, or they should have asked Holly Berry or the other artist, actress from Babs, to be in there. That would have been dope.
Okay, so I don't even remember that.
I do. Like, I remember that part of the song. Like,
okay, I'm glad somebody did.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch and have the lyrics
because apparently I just missed treasures throughout.
Don't watch the video. Just watch the lyrics. No, don't watch the actual video of the song, because again, it'll kind of throw you off. So do because you know how they'll have the songs playing with the lyrics on it, and make sure it's the explicit version. The video does not have the explicit version. It's the rated teen, rated. I don't know. But
the clean, it's the clean, yeah.
It's the clean version on the video. Don't watch that version of it, because you will miss a lot of the little. What did she say? In the back of my throat. Oh, you will miss those parts of the song.
But like I said too, I would listen to it on Sirius XM, so a lot of those stations.
And I watched the video. I watched the video, and then I watched them talk about got ice in my nose. I watched the video, and then I watched a live stream where her and Megan was on there, and actually that leads us to Megan the artist, because on there she said some things. She said that she felt that she wasn't supported by her friends, but then I had to go back and dissect Megan as an artist and see her come up, see that she's in the news for a lot of things lately. And I want to tell her, baby, go rest a little while. You got too much going on, baby. And sometimes all news ain't good news. So I want to talk a little bit about Megan as the artist. What y'all think?
What does she mean not being supported by her friends?
She made a statement that when she went through the situation where she was shot in her feet, on both of her feet, that her friends did not support her. Her friends didn't call, or her friends were not there for her like she thought they should be.
Okay, so here's my take when people say stuff like that. What type of friend are you? Because are you the busy celebrity Megan, to where when they have their life stuff going on, you aren't picking up the phone calling them, and was because it on the news that made it you should reach out because it's on TV? Like, I don't know. I don't feel like that's almost like when people said, you know who your friends are based on who called you during COVID. That doesn't measure a relationship or somebody supports for you, because we all have our own things going on. And I think it's selfish to put your friends in a position to say you don't care about me because you didn't call me this time. But that's just me. Because I don't have to talk to my friends every day to maintain a relationship, or necessarily reach out because something bad has happened either. As long as I'm checking in and we're communicating, that should sustain the relationship. Not, I got shot in the foot, why didn't you call? Did you call and tell them you got shot in the foot? That could have been fake news.
Here's the thing. Maybe she's calling these people. Maybe she calling these people who are calling these people friends, and they're really not friends. They're just associates. So maybe she's kind of confused, because everybody who hang around you ain't your friend. So maybe that's why they didn't call her.
Yeah, that's true. I have a friend who I'm pretty sure she was mad at me recently. We were kind of playing phone tag, and it was like, you didn't answer when I called, and I couldn't answer when you called. Um, so I wasn't upset, but I did get the impression after texting with her a little bit, she was upset with me, and I was just like, okay, well, whatever. I mean, she'll get over it if we're really friends. It's people get busy. Things happen. It doesn't mean I like you any less, but the phone works both ways, and both of us were playing phone tag. So there's my answer to that. Big whoop. Besides that, I saw a couple of comments that we had come up. One was asking about the spelling of Megan's name in her song, and he said, "Is it? Yeah, was she talking about just Meg or Meg the Stallion from Houston, Texas?" So I'm going to go with just Meg or either Megan, because that other mess. Come on now, y'all. Ain't nobody sitting about to.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm not
So
trying to be
let me answer
funny,
that question.
but I did make a joke, and if it was too soon, y'all let me know. I said maybe the stallion part is why Tori shot her.
I guess I hadn't kept up with that either. So, like, why did he shoot her?
They're not talking about it. Again, it's a criminal case because there was guns involved. But they're not talking about it. She's doing her thing. She also got a contract with Revlon. Congrats to sis for keeping her business going. But they have video of him like chilling with friends and family or whatever. I think at the airport, whatever. Because they had a rumor out that he was being deported back to Canada. That's not true. He's still here doing what he's doing. But nobody's talking about it. To be honest with you guys, I mean, it's a lot there. If you're caught up in a criminal situation and you can't talk, then you have to think about this. She probably can't talk. If you're the victim, like you can't really talk about a criminal thing until you guys go to court and things are settled or at that point.
But it sounds like that's what I don't know. I guess I'm the type of friend, somebody not reaching out or calling me doesn't necessarily say they're not my friend, because people get busy, life happens, and everybody doesn't keep up with the news. For example, if you didn't text me about an earthquake, I would have never known nothing about it because
You didn't feel the earthquake?
I wasn't here. I wasn't at my house, so I didn't experience that. So it's just one of those things where it's like sometimes you have to reach out to your friends when you are a secretive person and you try to hide things and you try to separate the two. You can't pull them in when it benefits you because you need that support at that time. You got to figure out how to include your friends at all times if you require their support in different things. You can't be a halfway like, well, I don't want y'all in my business, but this time I want you in my business, and you don't communicate that. Can't have it both ways, because I'm like that. I'm a very private person. What I want you to know, I'll discuss and we can communicate about it. But what I don't want you to know, that's not a conversation that we'll have. And if I'm going through something in regards to that private part of my life, I can't take it out on nobody for not asking or what's wrong or what's happening there, because I made a choice to make that private.
Okay. To be honest with you, it's unfortunate what happened. It was 3 people in the car. It was her, Tori, and her friend. And I'm trying to figure out what friend is that, because I'm pretty sure if I'm riding with you guys and somebody, we gonna have to square up with this person. I mean, if it happened the way people are speculating it happened, I don't see 2 of us riding in the car, and I don't see one of us getting shot. It's gonna be some gunshots in there, but I don't see one person getting shot twice in the. I don't see.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You have to have ride or die. You have to have friends that's gonna protect you. You can't be too cute that you can't help save my life, baby.
I agree. I agree. And like Clarice said, maybe that's not who her friend was. That person she was labeling a friend. That could have just been somebody she just met. And those may be the people she's giving her time to, so then her real friends don't know what's going on. I feel sorry for her though. Nobody deserves to get shot.
Yeah,
However, we got to make more mature decisions in our interactions with people to prevent those types of incidents.
So how do you guys think about I'm gonna be honest with you. When he said Meg versus Megan Thee Stallion, when people was like Meg Thee Stallion, the Stallion threw me off because that's a male horse. That threw me off. I that's too masculine for me. But again, you name yourself on who you wanna. I mean, you do whatever you want to do. But hopefully, she can rebrand herself, surround herself around business people, understand that the business is the business, and loyalty is found in real friends and true friends, and slow down. I think this is the time, since she done put out this new music and stuff, she needs to, after they put out music, they tell them to, push it, push it, push it. But I think she needs to take a page out of the sit your ass down page, and rest, because she needs to rest. It can be some hoes in this house, but these hoes are resting. That's what she needs to do. Hoes has allowed us this time to rest, rethink, and get it together. You have to mentally be there. You have to be present to be present. And I think that she needs to take advantage of the situation and just sit down and be like, girl, let me get this together. Because like I said, before, when she was coming up in the music scene, you seen her with people like Jordan Woods, you seen her with people like Lori Harvey, and those girls ain't getting shot up,
They not.
So you have to be careful how you moving in this industry. And I think that she needs to take this as a learning experience, but it costs you too much to learn. You get what I'm saying? This costs you too much. Hopefully she resting up. I was told that in a couple of the videos that I saw prior, I was told that they had recorded this previously, but they was getting ready for the build up to release it. Because hopefully she was not twerking on the wounded feet. Because that's not safe, and that can endanger, and that can actually mess up, So it was said that it was shot prior to all of this stuff. And I did thought it was messed up that Kylie, after the incident, had posted the next day, posted a picture of her feet in Hawaii. Where she took her family after word release about this incident. Now, y'all tell me what y'all think of that.
Really?
They're not friends. They're not friends. Like, that's just all that boils down to. They're not friends. A lot of what these celebrities do is for show. Like, it's to say this is who I was with. Like, it's just to build your Instagram followers. Like, that's what a lot of this is. Like, you can't be my friend and then know I get shot in the foot and now you out here posting pictures of your feet. Like,
I don't think it was malicious, or if there was necessarily any thought in regards to Megan and the foot situation. I might have posted my feet that day too if I had gotten a pedicure. Wouldn't have been personal.
You was like, look at these feet. Oh, she shot. Look at these feet, though. In the sand. Away from y'all. That's what you're saying? That's what you're saying, Desiree, to me?
What I'm saying is, if I'm vacationing and I have a nice pedicure, the sand is looking nice, the water is crystal clear, and I can get the perfect shot of my feet, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to post it.
But she had to know, right? Because didn't the incident start at her house?
Yes, that's what they were saying. That's why a lot of people was upset, because they were saying all this is going on. This is somebody that you was around, you was hanging around, and so all of this took place after leaving your house. And then while everybody was like speculating and checking on her, because the footage came out from the street cam showing where the cops had them stopped, showing where they had her limping back. You could see the blood dripping from her feet. I mean, it was explicit, guys. And they just left your house, and literally 12 hours later, you in Hawaii showing your feet. You disrespectful with it.
I mean, that vacation was planned, but what do you expect? Look what you did to Jordan. What do we expect from that family? When will people decide to stop hanging around people who don't mean nobody else any good?
Nick, I agree. It was too soon. It was too soon for her to post that.
Okay, so then
you have to read the room. You have to read the room, and I think that she did not.
Okay. 3 to 5 business days. 3 to 5 business days.
So I'm a 3 to 5 business days, and when they come up, I don't need no lip like, oh, you wrong. You know your home girl. No.
So your pedicure still would have been fine. Oh my God.
Obviously, her posting anything probably would have been offensive if people associated what happened with her. And I mean, now that you're saying that it started there, I mean, I kind of feel
it was literally pictures of her and him. It was her and him and Callie in the pool because she had a house party. And you can see her saying, "Boy, don't get my phone wet." Well, her and Callie was sitting up there taking pictures together. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, anything with the Kardashians is bad news.
Megan and her friend and Tori left in the black SUV. You know what? Stuff don't go right in black SUVs. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Stuff don't go right with the Kardashians. They're the only people that survive in.
Do y'all believe in that? The Jennifer
I do.
I believe it has a lot to do with black people. It's something connected with black people. I'm telling you, like Kanye done lost his damn mind.
Get out. That's that family.
So
that movie was written by them.
I'm gonna go out on the limb, and I'm gonna say y'all saying that the Kardashian and the Jetta puss is cursed. That's what y'all trying to say.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I definitely feel like they fetishize black people. I don't know what it is, like what their obsession is with it, but it's weird. Like,
because we fly.
But I need them to stop that, though. Something wrong.
Because look how they did Jordan. They dragged her. They dragged Jordan.
If I can be honest with you guys,
yeah, already.
And you know I am. The black people that they took, they could have had. Kanye, Tiger, Tristan, Lamar Odom. They turned men to girls. His name is what now? It's Catherine. What his name is? You know what I'm saying? The daddy. He went from a man to Caitlyn. I mean, he went to Caitlyn. If you notice, Kendall don't show her people. She's smart. She said, "You won't mess up mine." Scott, he's still hanging there. He's so bold with it. He have his new girlfriend hanging with Courtney and the kids. They go on vacation together. So it's not just black people, guys.
Do you all remember the racial draft sketch on Chappelle's show?
I can.
Well, basically, they were making trades. They was wheeling and dealing and everything. And, if I recall correctly, they had traded Mariah Carey.
Oh my goodness!
And I was like, it wasn't a problem for me,
Again, like I said, you got to think about the people that there. I mean, it's not. Oh, see, you stop it, Nick.
Well, but he is not wrong, because that's just like Whitney Houston and Bobby. People like to think that it was the other way around, but they said she was an influence on him. They said he wasn't that before.
It did come out. People thought it was Bobby because he had that bad boy image, but it was not him. It was her.
That was
and that was something that came out that was her. And the whole time, everybody was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be Whitney Houston when I grow up." And Whitney Houston was eating puss. I mean, nobody said it. He was like, she was, she had a close friend. Her friend was close, just like Aunt Oprah and Aunt Gail.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, I am going to blame Kim for Kanye. Now, he might have been crazy, but she didn't help him. as your spouse, I'm supposed to be like, babe, I'm gonna need you to wheel it in. Like your crazy ain't going a little deep. We need to wheel it in. Like, I'm gonna need you to.
If he's had a chemical imbalance for a long time, that that's something that probably would have set into him, as in young adulthood, if not as a teenager. Number one, and she cannot force him to take that medication. When you deal with somebody like that, they can become belligerent. Like you gotta crush up pills and food.
Now, I'm not gonna say you cannot force them to take that medication. I'm not gonna let you say that, because if I'm making the food, you gonna have it in your little oatmeal, okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
You gonna have it in your little smoothie.
But see, maybe she doesn't feel the way we do. I don't know. Maybe she just feels like there's nothing she can do. If it was me, oh yeah, I put it in your food.
I think she's concerned now because his image is now affecting hers.
Yeah.
So that's where the concern is coming from. I don't think it's coming from any other place. She's looking at the fact of Kanye can interfere with things that she's trying to do.
Her money. So you think?
I don't. You know what? No. I think that I do agree that she's trying to will him in. I think that she's trying to will him in because now he can use his mental health to tell secrets. When he was like, "I'm gonna kill my daughter," Kim was gonna abort her. Now it's like, give him the medicine. He got to go. He got to go to the hospital.
Right.
Talking and telling stuff that he should not tell. So now it's like, okay, it's different if you out here shaving 2020 president in your head. But when you start telling my secrets, oh, you got to go to the hospital to get checked in. You got to, somebody crazy. Okay? Somebody gonna have to figure it out. She did. She did try to get him admitted, and you can. Tharonda, you can speak on that. Tharonda is a licensed social worker in Massachusetts. You can get your spouse help if they need it. You can get them committed.
That is true. If you feel as if he's at risk to himself or others, you can do that. I don't know what state that she said that they were in, but that is true. I think that, again, you have to have someone sign off on it. So that's why I think it was legitimate, because he did say that it was she and the doctor. So she just has to report something that's concerning, and she's afraid for his life as well as hers, or there's some risk. And pretty much you can get Section 12 or...
That's why I said up to that point, it is hard. I mean, that to me, that's like what you just said, Tharonda, that's last resort. That's when you really have done everything you can do, is to take over somebody's, authority over their own lives, especially a grown person. I mean, it's like you want them to still have their dignity and you want to respect somebody, but you also want to make sure that they're not hurting themselves too.
In response to the question that we had,
do y'all think he will hurt somebody?
Maybe
himself.
How?
Maybe. Yeah.
What has he done that was drastic besides dye his hair?
I think sometimes people get it's for Kanye, it's internal. And he could just be in this like battle with himself to where it could just become so aggressive that he does something to like end that part of him.
Like escalates.
Mm-hmm.
So you think he's more suicidal than...
I wouldn't think he's suicidal yet, but I mean, like, do you really want to let somebody escalate to that point? And then, I mean, everybody knows that he has, to me, the turning point that we saw really came after his mother passed. Different people grieve differently, and he seemed to take that really, really hard.
He did.
And, kind of move on from it. Not that you ever stop being sad about it, but just like he doesn't seem to be able to let that go. Just the way his behavior seemed to change after that was like strange to me.
So there was a question.
Says to come to Charleston to say that he was.
Oh, it seems like he had a manic episode a couple of weeks ago, and he could have. I mean, he could have had many episodes. But one thing that I know for sure is that Kanye is not out here by himself. Even when he was at his estate in Wyoming, he wasn't answering his wife's call because he know that his wife was trying to come with the doctor. And so what some people are saying is that Kanye is not as mental as we think, that everything is a strategy, because he did, however, had a record about to drop named after his mother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So some of this thing, it's like I'm gonna play crazy to get what I want, because I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. He wasn't crazy billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
So he had since to get to a status that some of us may never see. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. A lot of it does seem very attention seeking.
Yeah. It is very attention seeking, and he married into the right family. Mm-hmm. The Kardashians are a business, whether people want to admit it or not. And though Kim may love Kanye, she loved her money just as much. And she's going to do anything to protect her platform, because her fortune is what her children need in the long run. They don't need all of this other drama and, the negativity that's going to come from some of the stuff that he's seen, out there. So she's doing what she can to, secure her family.
I do think it's a mixture of both. I think that he does have some mental health issues. But I do think that, mental health issues being on display, that he does probably enjoy a lot of that attention at the same time. I mean, just because you have a mental health issue doesn't mean that you don't like attention.
Mm-hmm. Definitely doesn't mean that.
I think he has that monster that a lot of people run into. I think he has that fame monster, where he always feels like he has to have the attention on him. And he's in that family where every little thing they do, they think that the lights have to be in, or remember they had back in, it was like, I think a couple of years ago, where they said that they would leak where they was going to go to the press, so the press can be there. And then people, all paparazzi is following them, but they were saying that no, they leaked that information because they wanted that stuff. And what people got to understand is you when you're in that spotlight, you take the good, the bad, and the crazy. Oh, that ain't what to say. I mean, and the ugly.
I agree. I think that one of the comments that popped up just now was that he's narcissistic for sure. I totally agree. So I do think he enjoys the attention. Anybody who calls themselves a genius all the time, and like won't let anybody forget that, it's like, okay, like, honestly, he may be a musical genius, but I would never vote Kanye for president. He lacks qualifications. I'd vote for my damn self before him. But that's neither here nor there. Also, the fact that he be making them.
You got to be on the ballots. You got to be on the ballots.
Them ugly sneakers, though, too. Okay, they genius. Okay, somewhere.
I'm gonna be honest.
Not the sneakers.
Some of the Yeezys I like. When he started doing the color schemes, I did like some of them. I'm gonna be honest. I like the color scheme ones that he had. He had 11 a pair that I really like. The all white joints I like. I put it like this. The talent is there. Okay, the guy is talented.
It's sad to say that Kanye.
Nick said Kim will make a better president than Kanye.
Very sad. I agree.
I don't know. We already got a first lady with a sex tape. I don't think we need another. Leave the sneakers out of this. Again, like I said, I don't have a problem with him. I think some of his creations are dope. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I like the old Kanye. I like the college dropout Kanye. I mean, I'm telling you, like me and my husband will listen to Kanye. Like that's when he was a lyricist. That's when it's like he couldn't do no wrong, y'all.
Yeah.
Like everything he touched, it was platinum. It was it.
Yep. Mm-hmm. This new age Kanye, I'm not sold on. Like you said, I feel like his artistry was of a higher quality in years past. Around about 2005, 2006, like you said. Yes, everybody does miss old Kanye. Some of them Yeezys, just getting back to that. Some of them look like when you melt something plastic in the microwave and they be having them holes in it. Look like that. Some of them like a pair of blades that I know my sister had when it was like 1996 or something. But some of them look like that. Like, I want to call them
okay,
moonshine.
guys. I know we went on the Kim Kardashian, well, the Kardashian, not Kim. We went on the Kardashian and the Jenner, but we never got to the last statement about Megan saying Black women are not protected. Do y'all feel like that's a true statement that we as Black women are not protected?
Generally, yes, I would agree with her. Like overall, as a whole.
I think I have to agree as well. I think sometimes I can take better care of myself than any man that is not obligated to do it would, if that makes sense.
I guess I don't even look at it from that standpoint as far as like a man, as much as just in society. A lot of times when a situation occurs, Black women are automatically assumed to be the aggressor, even if that's not what happened, or they're automatically assumed to be the party that's in the wrong, even though that may not be what happened, unless there is, a Black man involved in that situation. That's usually what it is. I think that's the case a lot of times in the workplace. You have instances where I have seen, and I work in human resources, Black women are disrespected, and then when they attempt to say something to defend themselves, even not using vulgar language or anything, they're automatically chastised for being unprofessional or angry, and it's like, so I'm just supposed to sit here and let somebody talk to me any kind of way? Like, I'm confused as to how come I'm not receiving any support when I was the one approached with that negativity or that unnecessary, not constructive criticism. So I do think place
Guess who
out
came
in the
back, guys?
That friend out in the store even I think a lot of times, like, I have been followed in a store, which made me feel like someone was trying to accuse me without being verbal about it, of stealing or looking suspicious. And I don't feel like I do, but, maybe that was their opinion of me just because I am a Black woman, because, that other person was Black. And I'm like, it's, not that any profession is any better than another, because at the end of the day, what matters is an honest living. But it's like, you work at the store. I'm shopping at the store. I don't need to be followed, boo-boo. I got some money. That's why I'm here. I'm salaried.
Clarice.
Manager.
I would absolutely. Yeah, can y'all hear me? Okay, good. I would absolutely agree that Black women as a whole, we are not protected how we should be. We are undervalued. We're underappreciated. But a lot of that has to do, I feel a lot of that has to do with a lot of people look at us as threats because we are so educated. We can walk into a room and we can control the room without even saying anything. So
yeah,
I agree with it. And then it's a perception that we have, that a lot of people, even Black men, have of us. Like, I have a guy friend, he always tell me, stop being so tough. Well, I have to be, because I understand the room that I'm walking into. So I can't go in there with my feelings on my sleeve and cry every time somebody look at me a certain way. So,
because it won't work.
It won't.
We can't cry white. We can't do that.
What?
Like, yeah.
Nick, no.
Nick said he won't have. Nick won't have. Nick won't have.
Well, Whitney's no joke. Whitney is well aware of prenuptial agreements. Okay. One that covers all of my multiple revenue streams. No. But I agree with you, Clarice. We don't have that luxury of like crying when something doesn't go our way. It's when we do that, it's like, oh, well, you should have been better prepared, or it's like, too bad, and not even being tough, quote unquote, as much as like, I feel like when you're a Black woman, especially, but really minority women too. One of my best friends is Dominican, and we talk about this all the time. She works in the financial industry. I work in healthcare for the most part. We have to always be on our A game. We don't have the luxury of having a bad day or, oh, well, she didn't get a lot of sleep last night. No, it's like, not only do you have to be prepared with what you were asked to, bring to a meeting, for example, but probably some more too, because there's always going to be somebody in those meetings that tries so hard to trip just you up. You know, and it's like, all right. And I know that everywhere I've worked, don't nobody like me because I always have an answer for every damn thing, literally. Like, and a lot of times it's just because I make sure I do my research, I do my reading before I get there. I have my notes, you know, just in case anybody tries to ask me something stupid. Something that you thought I wouldn't be prepared for. Oh, I got you. I got your answer to your question. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
So, me and Clarice used to make this joke about angry black woman music. Remember, Clarice? About how we used to, like, when someone approach us the wrong way or whatever, in the back of your head you got this angry black music theme storm going on in the back.
Hey, what song is this,
guys,
Crystal?
we just do stuff out of norm. Like me and my husband was talking, and he was like, "Why you got the angry black woman neck?" Like, you get what I'm saying? But it's just out of being comfortable. That's what I do, not knowing that it's insulting. Because I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do with my neck? Is it supposed to be stiff? Like, what? You get what I'm saying? So sometimes they perceive us as one thing that we're not. One of the things is I do agree with Nick's statement, not about Whitney's salary, because that's her salary, Nick. But I do agree about, he said that black women have to be more masculine. And I think that is a true statement. We have had to be stronger. Like Clarice referred to it as tough, but I think we have had to be stronger. And you know, Nick, I would challenge you. A lot of times we had to be stronger because our black men was not there. So we had to play both feminine and masculine. Okay.
Boom.
So I will have to say that, you know, as a black woman myself, sometimes I can walk in the room and demand a room, but sometimes it can be a positive demand, or sometimes it's like Whitney said, let me see what she don't know. Let me slip her up. Not like, okay, this is somebody that can be a partner, someone that we can grow with. It's what they look at, not what you have to offer, but what you lack of. And that's an issue. To be honest with you guys, you know, like I think one of y'all said it. Black women are the most educated group of people there is, and still at the end of the day, you feel like that still is not enough.
It's still not when you can work somewhere, and Crystal, you and I have had this discussion, when you can work somewhere and you've got a master's degree and a professional certification or a licensure, and you have X number of years of experience, and then you find out that the white lady in the office 2 doors down has a high school diploma and is making, you know, $13,000 more than you. You tell me how that doesn't look funny. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying you are, man. What the world? Okay, even lighter skinned black women are seen as more feminine, which is a shame. Okay. Nick,
I can see that, unfortunately.
Of course, I'm going to challenge you to what I said. A lot of times, black women, we had to be strong. We had to be both yin and yang because it was an absent there. Okay. If all the women that's on here are strong women, and I think that they are in a position where if I can do for myself, I will do for myself. And I also think that they're strong in the terms of, if a male came, great. If he didn't, I'm still good. Yeah. And that has something that carries with you when you go places. They can look at every one of us on this platform and see that we hold our own down with no help, and we can take control of any situation because that's just how we are built. We are built not to have sick days. We are built not to cry about stuff. We are built of, if it needs to be done, get it done. There is no excuses given to us. It doesn't matter of the complexion of the skin. It does not matter. It's just because we are women. And it's funny that we have to be so listen, we have to be so strong, but then we have to be so feminine and nurturing because we carry the legacy in our body. We carry the next little boy, the next little girl, into that next generation. And nobody gives us a oh, you're doing a great job. We just have to get it done.
Yeah. So this comment says we are on your side and support strong Black women. So
We thank you for
yeah,
that is
and I appreciate it. The words sound really good. However, this is how you support a strong woman. Give me an opportunity to show that is just not the only aspect of me. I think that's very important.
Yeah.
Sometimes men get intimidated because of all the things that Crystal mentioned, but sometimes I go in the room and I don't say nothing and I might command the attention just because I've chosen not to say anything. Not because of my demeanor, but just because ultimately my presence, people want to then understand, well, who's this Black girl? What is she doing here? How did she get in the room? Not because I've said anything, not because I've done anything, but just because I'm not the most, I guess, it's not a common occurrence in some situations where I might have a seat at the table. And I think we could flip things if we had Black men that would just kind of step up and that would
get your friend.
that would, if Black men would first put us on a pedestal, then the rest of the world would do the same.
And you know what? That's right. I agree with that. Because it's funny that, and I said, and I made this comment to my husband and his cousins. It's funny that a Black man will go and they will go and get a woman of another race that has Black features, but they're not Black. So you want
annoying. The word is annoying.
Is the best of us, but you don't want us.
Mm-hmm.
The word's annoying, and them be the same ones. I just want to put the scenario out there. Them be the same ones that be walking through the mall, looking at you dead in your eye, trying to give you the eye, holding that lady hand, and you be like, I'm sure you had plenty chances, and you made your little choice. Go ahead,
and she don't follow you because she gonna do something.
Yeah, go on now. Go.
Okay.
And I will also point out that complexion is a thing for men, Black men, and not for Black women. Because
no.
How many times have you had a Black girl say he too dark, or he not light enough?
I don't say that.
I don't know nobody that say that, but I know Black men that always be like, "Oh, well, you cute for a dark skinned girl, or she's pretty."
So rude.
Light
skin. That was the smartest now.
But what I'm saying is,
you said we were.
Whatever.
Oh Lord, all those things.
and especially in a place like this, like down here in South Carolina, and see for what? Too dark for what? But too dark.
Well,
I'm like,
maybe this is the thing, guys. I think that what people got to understand,
but joking on light skinned men is not the same as having a preference.
We're not joking
for one or the
on
other.
light skinned men. But
I have heard some jokes, but it wasn't a preference.
I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I'm gonna be honest with you. You like what you like. I like. I mean, y'all see my husband.
Yeah, you can like what you like. But you don't have to. But you don't walk around with a shirt that say you gotta be. You can advertise it. That's all I'm saying. Have a preference, not an advertisement. Approach what you like. Don't drag another person down because they're not your preference.
It is tacky,
and that's what puts Black women in a position to come off a certain type of way. But it's because a lot of us have heard these negative connotations of being too dark, or because you're of a darker complexion, you have a harder attitude, you're more tough, you're all of these things. Mm-hmm. So that's all I'm saying, because I come from a family where I'm the darkest of all of my cousins, and I feel it all the time. And it's down to just interactions and how even being introduced to other people, it's a thing, and you want to be careful of that, because we're raising and influencing a new generation of Black women, and I don't want little Black girls that look like me to feel what I felt growing up. And I took a risk being dark complected and locking my hair as young as I did, but that's because I love myself enough, and I know I'm fine. And I got the
But
pictures
see,
to
that's the
prove
thing.
it.
That shouldn't
And
be you
you
took
are
a risk. You just did your hair the way you wanted to do your hair.
Yeah, but
That's
that's a preference thing too, because there's some men who say if it ain't permed, if it doesn't look, that ain't for me. I don't want it.
I can't. Nick,
But
stop. Nick, and y'all better stop.
You know what? I'm sorry. I need to just respond to him. I ain't want no Shamar Moore because you know what's crazy? I wore braces
Shamar had
for a
that
very long
wig.
time in like
Shamar
middle
had that
school
wig
or
going
high
on.
school. And yeah, that was the first thing I knew. I was like, oh,
yeah,
how he got all that money? He get his teeth fixed.
yeah, no.
I to get my
But you
braces.
know what's crazy though? They really said that you gravitate towards what you see growing up. You guys, my mom is a lighter complexion than I am. My dad is a darker complexion than I am. And I'm a mixture of them too. But growing up, I always saw a strong, black, dark-skinned man with light brown eyes, and I saw how he nurtured us and took care of my mother. And so that's something that I kind of lean towards because I saw that as that was love. That's the first thing you saw. That was my dad. That's the first thing I saw. There, my family is dark skin. You have light skin or whatever. But my thing is always about how the person make you feel and how they treat you. It didn't have anything to do with that. But growing up, I did like lighter complexions for the men because that's what I saw growing up. If that had anything to do with it. Do that make sense? Like my dad was dark skinned.
I've heard that.
Uncles and stuff like that. So that's what I saw. So of course, that's what you.
I have a question. I seriously have this question.
Everybody.
I have this serious question, right?
Okay, go ahead.
Number one, who is Nick? Number two, when do the guys do their podcast so I can jump on their podcast like y'all on ours?
Yeah,
like when they do that so I can go on there with the Twitter fingers.
Know that Jackson runs that podcast, and when they're on, we're trying to actually set it up where all of us can be on together. Okay.
Saturday.
Okay, thank you.
You said next Saturday.
Twitter fingers.
So he's gonna do it where we can all be on there, and we're gonna run the topics together and go from there. So no, that will not be all they're on. She said I'm Jackson friend. I'm sorry.
He apologized.
Actually, guys, you remember I told you that my husband is a part of a On Defense podcast. Nick is the 1/3 member is Nick Jackson, and it's another a female that speaks from the female point of view on their On Defense podcast. And so when Jackson started this podcast, Doc Corner podcast, he actually invited Nick to join for the gentleman, and so that's Nick Black. Okay.
I'm just saying, Nick is hilarious.
On Instagram.
Very.
He's hilarious, but I need to get my Twitter fingers on.
Yeah, but you want people to comment, you want people to say things because we had posed questions to them, they was able to do their podcast and answer our questions. They love that question about recreational dating versus intentional dating, and a lot of them had the same answers you had, and I liked it because it was like, yeah, I need to see what I want first. I did not like some of their answers about wifey and wife.
They didn't answer that question.
That was like you basically should audition, but
yeah,
again,
they tapped the answer around that one. They was running in circles. Nobody never nailed the answer down for me. But yeah,
audition.
So, ladies, so again, I guess we all agree that Black women are not protected. I also we're gonna move towards the next topic, and the topic header is: here's one thing I can't stand. This is your time to share what you do not like, what you can't stand, and what you wish could be better. So those pet peeves or whatever, this is the time for you to share something that you just can't stand.
I can't stand it when people are inconsiderate, whether that's in friendships, professional relationships or business relationships or in a romantic situation. I don't like that when you don't think about somebody else and how the things that you do might affect them.
For me, it's inconsistency. I cannot stand for people who introduce me to a certain thing or a certain behavior, and then it just is no longer there. Like that annoys me to the utmost power.
I have a bunch of them. So let me narrow down my search. I call them look, there are little things that I call like triggers. That just like annoy me to my soul, and I'm working on them. You know, me and my counselor, we're working on my triggers, right? To not let everything, rub me the wrong way. But I would have to agree with her. Inconsistency is a big one for me. Like, if you a jerk, be a jerk from the beginning. So now I know how to handle you. Don't come in here like you a gentleman, and that's not who you are. But if you're gonna be an asshole, all right, let me see asshole day one. So I know how to govern myself accordingly. So inconsistency is a big one for me, and people abiding by the rules that they have. Like, perfect example, and everybody said I made such a big deal about this. So I went over to a guy's house, and his rule in his house was don't wear shoes on my carpet. All right, cool. I'll take my shoes off. Come to my house. Now, for everybody who don't know, I bought a house a little over a year ago. So my carpet is basically brand new. Come to my house, decides to walk up my stairs with his shoes on. And I was like, what? And so that kind of just like, I'm like, hold up. Now, you made this big deal about your carpet, but you're going to come in here and just run up my stairs with your shoes on? You don't see my shoes by the steps? Like, and so that type of thing will irritate my soul as well.
And that's rude. That's inconsiderate. It's like,
yeah.
I guess he figured since he didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
What you said, Crystal?
You ain't know who's got to go.
But the thing about it is I personally don't have an issue with people walking up my stairs with shoes on, because not a lot of people do it. I wouldn't. When you come in my house, I don't be like, take your shoes off. But my issue was you made such a big deal about it at your house. Like, would you not do the same? Like, that's what threw me off about the situation. Like, come on now, if we're going to have these rules, they're going to have to be governed across the board. They're not one-sided rules. So...
I agree.
You guys, something that I cannot stand, man, and I mean, this thing gets to me so bad. Man, I can't stand liars, bro. I cannot stand liars. Stand on the truth and keep it a book, and we can go on. I don't care if the truth hurts. Tell the truth and we can move on.
I think that goes back to our first topic of discussion too, where I said a lot of women will just tell the truth just to be done with it. It's too hard.
You know, I'm not one of those people who I put it like this. I have seen lies destroy lives, you know. Just tell the truth, you know. Since you keep popping up in the, you know, oh, you gotta stop. Man.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you.
If it's something that I'm saying, put it like this: you tell the truth, and you release. When you tell a lie, you got to remember the lie that you told. Just tell the truth and be honest. A lot of people create these lies in their head and create these imaginations in their head, but that's not truth. You know what I'm saying? You know, for example, no, this ain't your baby. Just be honest.
I guess I'm no longer.
We shouldn't have to go through court. We should not have to go on shows. We shouldn't have to have DNA tests. You know that ain't his baby.
Some people really.
I guess I'm no longer. bothered. Can you hear me? Okay. I guess I'm no longer like bothered by it because people gonna lie. Like, and I'm a whole ass detective out here, so go on with your lies. I'm an investigator anyway, child. I'm a whole ass detective.
But I think men tell too many lies. I think let me tell you something. Men tell so many lies. You and I guess because it's in their head or whatever. You know, you have to.
Ooh, no.
Oh my God, no, it's not. It's not noble to tell
I
lies.
hate that.
I think you need to be truthful. If literally, you know how much time that you would gain back off your life if people just told the truth. If a man approached you and they said, "Hey, I ain't no good. I'm gonna just drop dick off and go about my business." You'll be like,
I would be like,
okay. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah,
I would say at
okay,
least you have
cool.
them the
Make sure
opportunity
you
to say, no, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he just did. That's up there on my list of pet peeves. Do not think that you're protecting my feelings by being a liar, because that's probably gonna piss me off more.
You know, that's a whole ass lie that they believe. They believe that though. I'm not joking, y'all. Men actually believe that they're protecting us.
They do not
believe it.
Feelings. It turns. But that's what he just saying. No, they don't. That's why that's why Left Eye set that man house on fire.
Did you see the lady with the car?
Yes, that's why that girl set that boy truck on fire. That's why I'm waiting to exhale. His car was on fire. I can keep going on.
Yep.
Like, don't do that.
You have to be truthful, man. You have to be truthful. And I agree with you guys. Like, be honest. I think if we honest about things, look, you my weekend girl. I got a weekday girl. I'm gonna stay at her house. Be honest.
Yeah. Think about waiting to exhale. Not waiting to exhale. Thin line between love and hate. She told him, don't play with me. That's basically what she said. Don't play with me because I'm going to react in a way. He did not listen. And he had to deal with the consequences of him being a liar.
And then people want to be the victim after that too.
Another lie. I think another lie that people tell is, I think they lie about, you know, yeah, you the one I want to be with. No, you the one that they caught up with. Be honest. Be honest with them. I'm gonna eat your food at this date. I'm already thinking about the other guy I'm gonna date tomorrow. He probably a little better. And then I got a side dude that ain't acting right. But once he get right, I'm gonna drop the rest of y'all. Be honest.
No, so if I don't look good, please tell me. Because I'm that type of friend. I'm gonna have to say, sis, that hairstyle ain't it. That dress is not doing it for you. That is not the picture for Instagram. I'm that type of friend.
I need my man not to have me out here looking all crazy. That's what I need. So if
and it does get you beat up at the Waffle House, because my homegirl about slapped her boyfriend head off of his neck in the Waffle House behind some lies.
What he said? He didn't want eggs? What's the
problem? I don't even know. All I saw, I thought his head left his neck and hit the grill. That's how hard she slapped him. I didn't even want to eat no more.
Beat up at the Waffle House?
I just left. Give me my food to go. I'll eat it. I'll eat in the car. I can't sit at this table.
That's when you pack up stuff and you go.
Check, please. Check.
Listen. When you got to be honest, and the truth saves you. Let me tell you something that was told to me, and I said thank you. In my mind, I was like, thank you, that's great. It's not the size of the boat, it's the motion in the ocean. Oh, thank you. We ain't got this. We don't holler at me. Bro, we don't even need to see it. We don't even need to see the boat. Let's go. When you tell the truth, it saves your face. It saves my time. It saves everything. Y'all done heard the craziest things. Y'all like, the truth shall set you free, and I truly believe it. I think men need to be honest. I think they need to be honest. I'm no good. I've been out here with all these different girls. I probably got a BD. That is to be honest. So you can be like, you know what?
He is ridiculous, okay? Nick is ridiculous.
Lies can build confidence.
That's a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
Conversation for another day.
Lies build walls.
I disagree.
And once those walls start tumbling down, then you have no defense mechanism. You got to be honest. If you start off with the truth, then you can move forward. Okay? You can move forward. It's a lot. Put it like this, gentlemen. It's a lot of women. If you just was honest with them, they probably would have been straight with you. If you was like, "Oh, baby girl, I'm looking for the realist." Da 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 da. You're not looking for the realist. You're looking for right now. You're looking for what's right in your face. Be honest. You can't be out there talking about, I'm looking for a bad one. You looking for a bad one, but you can't afford a bad one. Like, check your pockets. You got to be honest. You can't dare to put up your pay rate. You got your pay grade. Okay.
Don't have a Kool-Aid budget with champagne taste now.
I like Kool-Aid. No, I'm just playing.
You stupid.
I like Kool-Aid too. However, when I went champagne,
He said honesty had him in the friend zone all through college. And that's probably where you needed to be to get them grades up so you can go through. Okay?
I was going to say, though, if you were being honest about not wanting anything serious, then what's she supposed to say?
But that don't mean you're going to always be in the friend zone. And what you probably did was, it wasn't honesty. You probably had something else going on. Tell the truth. Tell the truth now.
There's more to that story. So let's note
you
that.
in the friend zone all through college 4 years. You mean tell me you didn't find no woman? 4 years?
Not the one he want. It was the one particular one he wanted to sleep with. I believe every guy has that girl that he just wanna, like, you know what? It's her. I want to sleep with her. I don't necessarily want a relationship, but the more she push away, the more he wants to push towards her. So his truths, air quotes, kept him in that friend zone. So
you know what the friend zone means? The friend zone means you gonna get tired, you gonna get lazy with your delivery, and I'ma slip in there. Okay? I'm wearing you down. I want to hear everything your boyfriend did wrong so I can do right. I want to hear about your girlfriend so you can be like, yeah, they crazy, girl. So he can run back, tell his friends which girlfriend to hook up with. The friend zone just is like another step to getting closer to that boyfriend. Because when that boyfriend messed up because you over here got a secret plan going on, then you're going to sneak up in there. That's all the friend zone is. And a man in a friend zone is what you call a man that is never tired. A man in the friend zone will be there for years waiting for whoever you dealing with or whoever's you dealing with to go down.
We need to jot down Nick's last post for our conversation with him as well, because I do not agree. He said that women are expensive, so they have to get what they can afford.
I disagree with that too. Yeah. Actually, I disagree with that a lot because I personally am very what's the word? I'm gonna use the word thrifty or like frugal. I'm careful with the way I spend my money. I don't play games with that. I don't go to salons to get my hair done.
Sis, listen. Any man that say a woman is expensive can't afford it in the first place.
Or something, yeah.
It don't matter what you do with your money.
Even women's clothes are not expensive compared to men's, because men, I feel like a lot of men's clothes you can tell if they're cheap made, but like women's clothes you can get something from Cato and be like, and maybe say, oh, that's nice. You be like,
say Cato's,
right? Cato.
Maybe his choice.
She ain't about that fashion Nova life.
Maybe his choice of words were wrong. Maybe he meant. Can you hear me?
Go ahead, sweetheart.
I think maybe his choice of the words may be wrong. I do think we require more, and I don't necessarily would connect that completely financially. I know as a woman, I require a lot. Like, and it's not a requirement from other men. I don't require them to do anything for me. Like, it's all on me. I just know I require a lot. Whereas I'm just like, I am very thrifty. Sister love a good $5.99 shoe. But I do require a certain level of living standard. I just do. Like, I'm not gonna be living anyway. We're not gonna be living in no hole in the wall. You're not gonna have me sleeping in the back of no car. Like, we're just not doing that.
Yeah,
That's different though. It sounds like to me he's talking about the pursuit of a woman, and I kind of feel like if what you advertise is what you get. So if you out here being flashy, and if your approach is, I'm gonna, I have a prime example. I had a guy. The first date he took me on was to the cookout. That was the best thing ever he could have done.
But see, and like you said, Desiree, too, it's about consistency. So if you start off like, going somewhere crazy on a first date, she's going to think that this is what you can do all the time, if not better. So I mean, you can have the conversation and come clean that you were just trying to impress her, but I don't know how that's going to go.
Yeah.
For me, I would just kind of laugh that off, but some people would be like highly disgusted because they thought they was, running up on.
But when he said that we're expensive, I'm trying to figure out and what if we're dating or for example, why would you consider the person expensive? Like, what is it that the person is presenting that make you think this person costs? Because it can't, again, that's right, like you said, it can't be where y'all went for a date. Because 9 times 10, you chose it or he chose it. So it can't be that. So what is making this person expensive? I don't get it.
And that's why I said it might have been his choice of words. Maybe for the lack of better words, he didn't necessarily mean expensive.
But if you watch the men's video, he's talking about spending $600 on dates.
Where he going?
So clearly, you're advertising. He's saying like $200 on this person, $200 on this.
Let me tell you something. $600 on no date. Nick, you better stop that. You better stop, Nick.
What we don't do,
yourself, brother. How you spend $600 on date and doing a podcast? You got that Fabio shirt open with your legs out. Now come on, Nick.
That's what I could have sworn it was him. He said it'd be like $600 once you add them up. I have never.
I think he meant 60. He meant 60. Yeah. He meant 60. He meant 60. He get them 2 for 20s.
But he said 200. He said one date was $200.
Where did they go? A damn hot air balloon?
No, what I'm thinking is okay. So I'm gonna say this. It's a restaurant in Greenville. I forgot the name. My husband took us for
in Boston
anniversary. And then we went to another restaurant. We went to another restaurant, and between me and my husband, I think the meal was like $150. But that's 2 people eating, and then and the restaurant was in that price range. But at the same time, we're married.
Yeah, you said your husband. You said your husband.
Really, that's coming out your pocket.
So that's totally different than if you're dating, and Massachusetts ain't cheap. Nick, Massachusetts got Applebee's and OGs.
I mean, I was just saying, my best friend I mentioned earlier, who's Dominican, she's from Massachusetts, so I'm well aware of the pricing up there. It is a good bit higher down here. However, like you said, Crystal, there are other alternatives. You don't have to go all out. Like, okay, if you start out that high, where are you going to go when it's like your actual anniversary or, a special occasion?
Where we go on the date does not. Applebee's,
it's
why
the experience.
It's not about what I'm eating or where I'm eating at. It's about what you're providing at the first date. Like I said, I went to a cookout and it was chill. I enjoyed myself. I got what I liked, and that's what made it a memorable date. Because he took into consideration, she says she like milkshakes. Well, let me take her someplace where she can choose all these different types. And we just had a milkshake and talked. And then
so that lets you know too that he listened to you. He was
Somebody
listening to
dating
you.
above their pay grade. Somebody
above their means, yeah.
yeah. Somebody need to win.
No, milkshakes don't make lactose free. And I don't think you want to do cream and milk on the table. That ain't gonna
Well,
be
in that case, you would need to listen again.
You can't say I like milkshakes, but I'm bubbly. That ain't gonna be cute. That ain't gonna be
They
cute.
make lactate for that, Crystal. I don't take it, but I've heard of people take
I'm
it.
gonna go with that right there. That's what she like, but she can't go and say I like it, but it makes me gassy. That's not gonna be cute.
I would.
But I wouldn't choose something that I know is going to put me
Right.
in a position to where I couldn't be comfortable during the date. But what meant more to me is that he actually took into account something that I said I enjoyed.
He remembered.
And he made that effort. If we would have went someplace else, it would have been fine. But we went to the cookout.
I will have to make this. It said
Yeah, you need
definitely
to
stay
quit
above my means. I got to stop that. You so silly.
Yeah, you need to quit
So silly. But we like the entertainment. I will have to say this though. Like we said, if you starting at that marker, what am I to expect?
Yeah.
And then at the same time, you can't do it for the first 2 dates, and then the third date, you like, yeah, Applebee's got that 2 for $20. Let's hit that up. Like, then you're not consistent. See what I'm saying? Then you're not consistent.
Exactly.
And then when the person questioned that, then now they're not being understanding of the situation.
Or you're getting mad and it's like, because they asked the question.
I might be even more impressed if I see them pull out a coupon. That tells me something. A man using a coupon tell me something. I'm just saying, because like I'm gonna use like my stepdad as an example. He's just a spender. And you know, like how sometimes with little kids, they don't realize like the money that's in the bank is like actually your money. So we just out here, we balling. I like it, I'm gonna buy it. Boom, I like it, I'm gonna buy it. Boom. Don't be eating noodles because you took me out. I'm just saying, if you got to start eating top ramen because you decided that we were gonna go to Rio's, I don't need that on my conscience because I'm still gonna be eating good. For the next 5 to 7 years.
But I would be like, that was dumb.
You know, the rule of thumb for me is you don't spend more than you can afford to lose. So if you're doing $200 meals, dates, Nick, then obviously you got to have at least $2,000 in the bank or something. You can't spend more than you can afford to lose. And then again, is that really impressing me if it feels like, okay, you take me out on the first few dates and then now it's my time to pay, or it's my time for us to do the date, right? Because we talked about that last time, ladies, where we were saying, you know, if we picking the date, we will pick the date. Then I take you somewhere and you feel insulted. I can't. You get what I'm saying? Like he done set the bar so high, and then it's my time to take us out. Wouldn't you feel like I'm obligated?
I'm not obligated to spend money because it was your date. You spend your money how you want to spend your money. If I want to use my coupon, if I went on Groupon and I done got us a nice little date, you gonna go to this date, right? Doesn't matter if it was a coupon. No, you going on the date, and if the coupon matters, then hey, because I'm the type of person.
Fiscal responsibility.
Yeah, because I mean, I got bills. I got a lifestyle to maintain. I'm not going to pretend I don't go in the store and ask for a deal. Why would I not want a deal for the date?
I was going to say, I have been on dates where, like, you know, I really could not have cared less where I was, you know, whether it was nice or not. I just, like, did not want to be there with that person because I was not having a good time and was like, oh, my God, I'm going to kill myself. I'm just going to go in the bathroom. Because I just want to leave.
And climb out the window. Climb out the window.
That's right. But you know the bathroom windows are real high though.
Sometimes you
climb out the window.
Look, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. I got my Uber outside.
Right.
I mean,
like, it doesn't matter where you are if it's the experience. If you're not having a good time, you're just not. And then if you leave and the only thing you could think of was, damn, I'm glad I didn't have to cook tonight. But man,
Crystal, I you may have been off the market for too long. Things have changed drastically. I'm just saying, like, the dating scene has changed a lot in the last, I'm gonna say, 10 years. It has changed drastically.
I'm gonna say
saying,
probably last 5 minutes.
So what? So you guys
terminologies
gonna have to put me up.
and
So
things
what?
that I don't know.
What changed so drastically? Be honest now. What changed?
There's words and stuff, you know. There's vocabularies I've been hearing about. I don't know nothing about them.
What?
There's ghosting. There's ghosting now. There's cushioning now. There's just multiple vocabularies.
What's cushioning? Yeah. I know
ghosting.
Okay, so I heard
what's cushioning, and tell me what is ghost.
Okay, so ghosting is when you just don't answer someone anymore. Like, you give them no explanation whatsoever. I feel like that's always been a thing. Nobody just had a word for it before.
Because I've been doing it.
Right. I was like, okay, that's like no different than if, like, you know, you send me a message on Facebook and I look at it and I swipe and delete. So I guess that's ghosting. I don't know. Cushioning, from my understanding, is basically just keeping your options open, which to me, there is really nothing wrong with if you're not in an exclusive relationship. If you have not, you know, entered into an exclusive relationship.
We talked about that.
Recreational dating.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because, and especially if there's nothing intimate going on, you know, then there's nothing wrong with going on dates with, you know, more than one person. But anyway, back to what I was saying now. I have been on dates where I was just like, my God, I really should have just laid in my bed and looked at the wall tonight. That's what I should have did. What I knew.
Y'all for
works.
real?
Yeah, it was.
Where y'all met these people at?
Just randomly.
So quick story then, since you asked, Crystal. My mom and one of her little nosy friends set me up on a date with somebody. Right, first of all. And you know how, moms always be telling you that somebody's cute and things, and then you be like, I already know they ugly because you keep the way y'all keep saying it like that. And
he nice.
I'm like, oh my God. So, like, I went, he was very nice and everything. I actually felt really bad because I could tell instantly that there was no spark. I wasn't interested, but I had to get through this date. After the first date, which was awkward enough, I was informed by my mom and her friend that they told him that I would at least go on a second date with him when they saw him. And so what am I doing? I'm ruining this. And I'm just, and he was an engineering major, and all I could hear, I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Are they trying to set you up for arranged marriage or something?
I don't know. This is in grad school. I was like, okay, I don't give a damn what y'all talking about. Anyway, I went on the little second date. He asked me where I wanted to go. I specifically and purposefully picked the movie theater because I did not feel like talking to him. And I was like, all right, so it's time to be quiet. Okay.
So
that's how that was.
You better than me. You are better than me.
Hey, no talking.
That's when you should have ghosted him.
And
got up and left.
And
I would have ghosted my mama too behind that.
After the second date, I had to go. I was
not the mama.
Actually, now that I think about it, I didn't ghost him. I was actually really nice and mature about it. I feel like I was more mature back then than now, actually, because now I'd be like, I ain't finna say nothing back to this message. Anyway, but back then, I actually met him somewhere. I think it was like a Dunkin' Donuts for coffee, and I just nicely explained to him briefly, did not let him buy me anything like that. That, he was very nice and stuff. And as much as I appreciated him taking me out, I didn't really feel like there was a connection there, and that I wish him the best. And then, I had already made up in my mind that no matter what he said, or if he even wanted to give me like a soliloquy, I wasn't going to listen to that. So I told him that I had things to do that day. I appreciated his time for meeting me, and then I left. And then I'm pretty sure I went back to my apartment.
How you
dump that man at Dunkin'? That's what I be doing. Huh?
How you dump that man at a Dunkin' Donuts, man?
Okay. Let me pause you all real quick.
Because my mom and her dumb friend had already messed up everything.
But
she understand.
She did that. I wasn't going. My mom was gonna be mad with me. She was gonna call me a heathen, ungrateful, disrespectful.
Well, just know this: I have become more secure in saying no to people. Like the first time I don't like something, I will say that about myself. I have kind of gotten to that point where, even though I do, like I said, I feel like in some ways I'm less mature. I have matured in that regard where I can be like, no, like as soon as someone brings it up, you know, and I'm not going to listen if somebody's like, well, I already told them, you know, like I'm sorry that you did that. Now you can go tell them that I said no. Like, so that's where I am in 2020. You know what I'm saying? So to answer your question,
and you should have that freedom.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't lying. It just took me a little bit longer to have that frank conversation with this person. And honestly, the reason it took me a long time too is because I could tell that he really liked me. You know how you can tell somebody really likes you and you don't?
But isn't a lie by omission? Isn't a lie by omission still a lie?
Yes.
I think
yes, it is. But so what I'm saying is it wasn't malicious. The intent was not, it wasn't to be mean. It wasn't to be hurtful.
That's more on your mom than it is on you though, because she said he was gonna get a second date. So you were getting obedient.
Yeah. And I think too, and
you know, I love
backstory, I think they didn't like I think they didn't like the guy I was dating at the time. So they were trying to like pull their own little operation. You see what I'm saying? No, I didn't lie about winning the second date. They lied about winning the second date.
Can y'all see the comments? Because I can no longer see them.
Yes, I can see them.
Yes, we can.
He said, go ahead, read it.
I cannot see them, and I'm trying to figure out why my husband hasn't fixed that yet.
I did not spare his feelings because I told him I didn't like him. Like, didn't you hear the story? Listen.
Eventually you did. So technically, I agree with Nick. I'm gonna have to. It was a lie by omission.
It was definitely a lie by omission. It was definitely a lie by omission. Now, I will say this was all in the span of like 3 to 4 days. This was not like drug out over a long period of time. Well, like I was just like, listen, I you know,
I'm having issues.
He said now it's the mom's fault.
Okay.
It's not my mom's fault, but I do wish that she wouldn't do that. I will say she and her friend never did that again because it didn't go the way that they wanted it to. So
yeah, no,
yeah, they didn't like the guy I was dating at the time. That's what that was. They think they slid.
Yeah.
So why they set you up to be a cheater though? That's not fair.
They didn't like him, so they didn't care about his feelings.
Wow.
Yeah, basically. It was like, oh. They were like, my mom even, she made a remark, she was like, well, I just feel like he's really immature and you could do better than him. So I was like, okay.
Sorry, guys. Jackson got his finger.
It's okay.
He got his finger in the way. I was trying to see the comments that Nick was posing and the other gentleman was posing.
They said that I was lying to that man and that I spared his feelings by lying. And I agree with Clarice that I did lie by omission. You know, but it was already awkward enough, you guys. I'm sorry. God.
Don't feel bad. I've been there. I've done it too. And it's just like, ugh, like this
like
ain't
I
it.
said though, the 2020 Whitney is different than 2011, 10 Whitney. 10 years ago, it's a long time.
So you got a problem with it?
Now my favorite thing to say is not necessarily I'm sorry, but as much as it is, it's unfortunate that you feel that way. I hate that you feel that way, but this is what we're doing. Maybe it's an HR approach. I don't know.
I think men handle it differently when we do make a decision or choose to not, pursue a relationship or continue it. They do. It's not the same as with women when they be like, nah. It's a little scary in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe that's just me.
I do not. Oh my God! Right now.
You guys, my husband did let me know that we have been on here for 2 hours and 38 minutes.
You know what?
Now
I'm not wearing that ugly
I cannot see the comments anymore.
I'm tired. He said 2020 Whitney is on the usher board, and Crystal, you know that I would not wear that. First of all,
Crystal,
I think
next
you have to be
But
nice to
I'm pretty
people
sure we're
to be on
talking
the usher
about
board.
Nick, and Nick is like Playboy Cardi, so it's all right.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
next Saturday, can you please text us when they go live so that I can be sure that I'm on here? Harass
With my
you?
Twitter fingers.
We will because we will want you guys to have that same opportunity. He told me to keep going, guys. So we will want you guys to have that same opportunity to respond.
We were not on here as long last time, but it's because of Nick.
Right. These side
Yeah, and
conversations.
we want that feedback. We want the gentlemen to talk and have that question. That's why we're gonna get together and do one live with all of us together. So we want the men to be a part. Sorry guys, my husband with his finger and something.
It's okay.
I'm trying to reset it.
So would it be frowned upon if I was honest right now and said that I got a poke bowl on DoorDash and I'm gonna eat it? So we've been on here for like 2 hours and 40 minutes at this point.
I didn't even realize it was that long. And Crystal dropped off.
Yeah. I'm gonna wait till she get back on because I have to be to work at 06 in the morning.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
This was fun though. The
It
last
was.
time nobody was on, but them keep asking questions, drug it out. But it was
This is my first podcast, so I like this. I've never done that.
I will definitely be on when the guy's gone because I'm going to have my Twitter fingers. I am just going to be typing away.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes. I definitely will.
Sorry guys, I got
Good job, Nick.
Come back and say, hey, I'm trying to get engaged. I'm not the one to put Nick.
Not get engaged.
But Nick is has been married one time.
Eat that ball.
The divorce rate for the second marriage is higher, bro.
What?
It's
a pokey bowl. Bowl. B-O-W-L. W. Right. No, you didn't do anything. No. Pokey bowl.
What happened with you?
All I said was, if I can be honest right now, since we were talking about honesty, and I'm 2020 Whitney, I got a poke bowl delivered on DoorDash, and I wanted to eat my poke bowl, and I was like, and we've been on here for 2 hours and 40 minutes, so I was thinking that I might be done after this, and then Nick says he wants to watch me eat the ball, and then now Jackson's confused. He meant to say bowl. And that's like some weird, like, personal subscription, like channel stuff. Like people who watch people eat things.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's okay. That's fair.
Autocorrect. Okay.
Said that Nick said his edible doesn't kick in, so Nick is in Massachusetts where that is legal.
Right.
So it probably did kick in. So guys, we're going to wrap things up. I thank you for being a part of the podcast. We covered some interesting topics. Those gentlemen will be having theirs on Saturday. And then we will be trying to schedule to get another one in. Like I said, I will be reaching out to the girls that I did invite. I will also be reaching out to check on Tharonda because I'm pretty sure that she was having
Crystal.
And she was having some difficulties. I apologize to my guest that's being harassed.
Look, I like
your
God.
That's being harassed, but you guys, I did send the information to you. So if you guys can please share your businesses, what you're doing, if you got any new adventures on this, where we can find you, if you have social media, and you guys can go ahead and start. Whoever want to start first.
I'll go. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at _another breed. Follow me on those social media platforms. Thank you.
I am on Facebook under my first and last name, Whitney Wright, and I'm also on Twitter under that first and last name with the Twitter handle at Whitney B. Light. And then I'm on LinkedIn as well. In addition to my full-time role as a human resources consultant, I also do contract consulting on the side for business optimization and efficiency, human resources, investigations, professional resume writing, and then mass communications for a politician and a state level politician, and also a construction and general contracting company. And I will let everybody know also when my Airbnb is finished, because it's under construction right now. I hope to open it probably September-ish, the pace that things are going.
I can be found on Facebook, first and last name Clarice Thomas, and on Instagram, Reese_21. That's it. I'm looking forward to the rest of whatever 2020 has to offer.
Hopefully better than this far.
I know it.
I'm about sick of this. But go ahead.
So I can be found on Facebook under first name, last name. Yeah, take your first name, last name. I also will be launching my new business. Let's Make It Crystal. It's a floral business. It also helps with interior designs for homes, outdoor landscaping and things of that sort. Door wreaths, etc. Wedding bouquets, flower arrangement, all of those good things. That will be releasing the end of this month, beginning of next month. I do have a Twitter account, and I also my husband bought me my baby Winston Lugosi, which is a miniature schnauzer, and he has an Instagram page. So if you want to follow my baby to see the adventures of Winston Lugosi, then you can on Instagram. Also, I will give a shout out to my husband for allowing us to use this platform of his to do the ladies podcast on. He he's on Instagram. So Winston Lugosi on Instagram. For doing this podcast, he has also started several businesses during the quarantine, which I'm very proud of. One is working in his field of IT. The second one is computer repair. The third one he has done has been to build and work websites for different companies and businesses. And then on the weekends, on Saturday, he does tutoring. Tutoring to the children, especially when the kids are going back to school. So he does tutoring services as well. I would like to also highlight that Tharonda, who was on here earlier, Tharonda is a licensed social worker for the state, for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. She has her own practice business. She also gives counseling to individuals and couples. She also works with the state of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts in a social working role to give her services. So that's one of the things that we are highlighting today. So I thank you guys for taking time out your busy schedule. And I also ask that you guys be present for the Gentleman podcast to see what they have to talk about, because it's very interesting to get a different point of view on the things that we're talking and referencing. Okay? So,
I will definitely be there. Twitter fingers and all. Twitter fingers and all.
Oh goodness. And to be honest, I looked up a positive quote for us to end on, and I came up with one very simple. It said, "A negative mind will never give you a positive life." So, if you think negative, there's going to be negative, but you have to be positive in all things. In all things, they have a silver lining. So keep that positivity. I suggest all of us support each other. We are strong Black women, and we know what we have to do. We just have to get her done. Okay. Thank you guys, and I will
Thank
be
you.
Good night.
sending things to you guys with the next topics at hand. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.